Yes, people, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. I hope you're all doing well. But more importantly, welcome to the Blue Morning Show because, in fact, it is the Blue Morning Show. And specifically, it is Chelsea Football Club Transfer Watch. We will be talking about quite a lot of topics. Modric happy to join Chelsea. We're hearing Enzo's status, Marcus Thuram's interest, and Kante's renewal, which we're hearing that it is very, very close. But more importantly, because that's the tradition here, it is a very, again, interactive show. It wouldn't be what it is today without it being interactive. We're going to start by looking at what we have in the chat already. I hope you're, again, all are doing well. You may see me turn around to use the other screen. That is because the one in my front is freezing. So I'm going to use the other one for the highlights. But that's, by the way, Matthew Lee Benjamin says, big up to you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. I appreciate that. Yes, people, keep liking the damn video. 28 likes already. That's not easy. Again, you guys are absolute legends. So as you come in, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It doesn't look like it's going to take us too much time to hit 8,000 subscribers because we're at 7,528 subscribers already, and that's because we're doing something right. We're working as a unit. Those in the chat, those on the panel, we are all one. This says, mind you are suffering. They're not really. Didn't they win their game yesterday? Tell me. I think if anything, they're improving. If we're being honest, I get it. It's banter. But if we're being honest, they're really, again, doing well. Let's see what else I have. I think this screen will help me better. Where did I stop? Yep. Nemanja Fowler calling them a useless team. Do I think they are a useless team? No, I don't think so. I think they're doing well right now, but I get your banter, man. Off the charts, indeed, off the charts, off the charts. Big up, like the damn stream, people keep liking the stream. 28 likes again. Yep, I believe we can do better than that because we've grown stronger over time. Blue morning, Kachila panel and chat. Blue morning to you too, Leon Lane. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much, brother. Please like and subscribe to help the channel grow and continue to bring us all transfer news and great pre-game, post-game shows. Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate that for you to say that. Again, big up to you too, Francis Winters. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. The screen is gonna give me a lot of problems today. I forgot to reboot the system. Let's have it right. Yep, I agree. Let's do it correctly. Big up Coach Panel and Chad. Big up to you too, Wally Waldo. I hope you're doing well. Hello, families. Again, hope everyone is good. I have already clicked the like button. Yes, destroy it if you can. I advise everyone, please do that as we are waiting for the panelists. Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And there's a new feature where you'd see, again, a red heart. Keep clicking it. That will help push the YouTube algorithm to send the stream to more people. Southampton just signed a player I rate quite highly. What's the player's name? I want to know. I don't know the player in question, but I really do want to know if you don't mind telling me. Just quickly, it looks like I need quite a lot to catch up now. Where am I? Let me use the screen for this. I think it will do me some good. The other one is a bit too slow. Good day, everyone. Good day to you too, Supreme Course. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Just 1 second. Oh my goodness, is this what I'm going to see today? Okay, just saying hello to each other. Let me see. Modric to Chelsea. Here we go. Yeah, it hasn't happened. There are conflicting reports, but we'll get to that in a bit. Oh, he's 30. I thought he was in his 20. You liked him that much, you didn't know how old he was. Big up, coaches. Big up to you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. I wish we can go for Brandon Soppy. He's a player I don't know. He will be the ideal right back for Chelsea, and he's only 20 years old. Plays for Atalanta. His market value is about 15 million. If we're looking at him again, if you know him that much, maybe I have to research him. I'll take a note of that name. Hopefully, I don't forget. This Man United fella stays away. 85 million is mad. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Mendy fracture. What is wrong with this club? Again, Hashim Nice lifetime Chelsea fine 16. What again? Mendy's case may have been something that happened during the World Cup, but probably materialized completely when he returned. I think he was. I'm not sure, but he played Senegal's last game out of the World Cup, so I'm not sure what happened. I am disappointed in this Modric situation. It is confusing, really. Whether he comes to us, it remains to be seen. We'll find out. It is a very complicated situation. But some Arsenal content creators are saying that they, again, are looking to pull out of the deal. It's taking too long, and they're not willing to pay too much. So yeah, but we'll get to that in a bit. Any updates on Starling and Pulisic? No clarity yet. Maybe they need further assessment. Again, according to the club's website, no clarity on what, again, the length of time that they will be out. But to me, again, as much as I don't want to celebrate anybody being injured, to me that's a blessing in disguise, honestly. And I'm sure you know why I'm using the picture of Chelsea legend Gianluca Vialli, who died a few days ago. Yesterday actually. So may his soul continue to rest in peace, and our condolences to his family. The football world is mourning, again, a legend of the game, specifically the Chelsea family are mourning this man and his family specifically. Our condolences to them. You could say Fab tweeted on Modric. No, don't say that. Good morning, coach. Again, Trinidad and Tobago in the house. Sergio Ba, nice to see you, brother. I appreciate that. Big up, Coachella. Life is made at 10% by what happens to us at 90%. By the way, again, we react to it. If we change the way we look at things, things begin to change. Oh, that's an excellent quote there. Again, you quoting Luca Vialli. What a player he was, and what an individual. And if you see him talk to people, you'd see he's a very humble person, really. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you putting that there. Let me highlight there. It's worth looking at. Let's see what we have here again. They signed Osich. Okay. Who signed? What like is it? Guys, again, what's going on with Enzo's deal to Chelsea? We'll talk about that in a bit. Again, please, guys, keep liking the stream. 36 likes. You guys are absolute legend. I give it to you guys, which means we'll get to 100 as soon as possible. I know people are saying that Enzo Fernandez is not worth 120 million euros, but we need him. Anyways, again, so what's the style or strategy to get the guy? I don't know. We're just watching. We're just following the stories as they happen, but we'll get to talk about it in a bit. Good day, bro. Good day to you, Oshianok OC. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Okay, Dynamo Zagreb. Okay. Oh, okay. Dynamo Zagreb. Okay. Modric stays away. 85 million is mad. But to me, I think he's a fine player, and I think he's worth that money. Emmanuel Adio, Chelsea need to sign up good players in the middle of a pack. Okay, because that's where the problem is right now. Yep, we need good midfielders. We need good central attacking midfielders. I'm going to keep saying this, but every time it comes up, I need to explain why I say that. We need central attacking midfielders to help us diversify our chance creation so that we don't just create chances from the flanks and on the carpet. So when we diversify our chance creation, it will be very difficult to stop, just like Man City. And when teams defend deep, if we're able to create chances from the central area of the pitch, that would be great. And also, again, just being more specific, we need a midfielder who can shoot from outside the 18 box. It doesn't have to be, again, pretty. You don't have to decorate the goal. If you can shoot from outside the box and get a goal, just do it. But we haven't seen that in our team for a while now. Hello, everyone. Hello to you too. I hope you're doing well. Again, RIP Viali. Yep. Thank you so much for typing RIP correctly. I've seen people type it with capital letter, small I, small p, which means something else entirely. But usually people don't pay attention to that. Not too keen on Modric. Admittedly, I've only seen him one game, but I think it's safe to say he was not really scouted by Chelsea for that long, and it's just another hijack attempt. No, it's not. We started talking about signing him during the past summer transfer window, but for some reason it looked as if we weren't serious then. If you get my point, so yeah, I think. No, it's not just for hijacking sake, but you can argue maybe we'll opt our pursuit of the player up a notch after, again, it was the news emerged that Rafael Leao will most likely remain at Inter Milan, at AC Milan, so to speak, which I don't really believe until I see it happen, because the truth remains they're not going to pay him anything close to what we'll be paying him. yeah, I get it. The only benefit to them will be to the club who gets to put change the buyout clause or something ridiculous than what it is right now. But that's, by the way, thank you so much, guys, for always again finding time to join the show. We're 39 likes. Let's get it to 50 as soon as possible. Sign Wilfred Zaha. Has he extended or is he going to leave on a free? I think that's one player we're all called for the club to sign during the summer. He's a very fine player, capable of playing in multiple positions. Never shies away from taking on his man, and he has that spirit. He fights really. He wants to win all the time. Hope again. We looked at him in the summer, according to rumors, but probably didn't go through with it. Good morning, Coach. Good morning, Vibe. I hope you're doing well. Hi, everyone. Hi, Monday. Mobile. Monday. How do I pronounce that name? Bele, I hope you're doing well, and I hope I did not butcher your last name. Apologies if I did. Again, if not, again, can you show me how? If that's the case, show me how to pronounce your name correctly. And before I remove this picture, once again, I want to say again, rest in peace to Luca Vialli, Chelsea legend. Yep. Again, the very lovable individual. If you see him interacting with people, you'd say, yes, again, this is a very nice person, even without having met him in person. We need midfielders who have the vision to feed the strikers. Our current wingers don't do that, don't do enough. Not just wingers, we need central attacking midfielders, if that makes any sort of sense to you. Oh my gosh, the chat is on fire, but I'll try to catch up anyway. It's also going to outsmart Arsenal on him. It's not a matter of outsmarting Arsenal. It's a matter of, again, paying what the club are asking. Arsenal are interested, we're interested, but we're hearing we'll only go in if Arsenal, again, pulls out. But right now we're hearing we're actually held talks with the club, and the talks, again, are moving it in the right direction in favor of Chelsea Football Club. There are also rumors that Arsenal, again, are the favorite to sign him since he wants to play for them. But we'll get to that in a bit. Again, welcome Chelsea to sign any other player. Douglas and Dumbo, let's see what happens. Potter should give our new signings a chance. Andreas Santos, Dr. Fofana, and Benoit Badashile. I think their integration will be gradual, except if any of them plays in a priority position in terms of all signing players, and they get to start as soon as, again, I don't know any date. Yeah, but I get what you're saying there. Rest in peace to Chelsea legends. I don't, again, Mudryk to join Chelsea. Reports are like he's aware of our interest, but he wants Arsenal. Again, show me where he said that, really. Again, the most you can say telling evidence that I've seen is that he liked posts from Arsenal fans saying happy birthday to him. That's, by the way, and there's, again, some argument yesterday or somebody saying clearly that it's only natural that he likes, that he says, again, he wants to go to Arsenal because they were the first team that approached him. It makes sense, but it's easy to draw conclusions given that, again, Zinchenko's wife interviewed him, and again, Zinchenko is also Ukrainian. But the truth is, if you paid attention to that interview, when Axel said, again, if he has the opportunity to join Real Madrid and sit on the bench, he will most definitely go to Arsenal, where he believes he won't be sitting on the bench, if that makes any sort of sense. Kemso, big up, bro. He says, Coach, can we agree Aubameyang is finished? This coming from you, okay, now I agree he's finished. But that's if I'm being honest, he's not finished. The biggest problem he's had at Chelsea Football Club is a lack of supplies, so to speak. I know, yes, again, he's not the quickest, but there's a way, again, if we play that way, we'd accommodate him. He'd walk into the Man City, not walking. If they can take him, if they decide to sign him, believe me, he'd do well at that club. It's as simple as that. But I think the biggest issue he's had at Chelsea is the lack of supplies, if we're being honest. I hope that makes sense to you. Coach, I heard Potter not interested in Alba. He should pack his load and go. I think we should, again, if we get, but before you let him go, we need to sign a striker this January, then we can let him go. Dr. Fofana cannot do it alone. Maybe if Potter decides, again, he will continually play, what's his name, Kai Havertz as a number 9. But again, I must admit, again, usually when he does that, it's in a fluid number 9, attacking up, not like the traditional 9 approach. Chasing more wingers when we need to fix midfield, defense, and right back. Bally is reckless. Or brown envelopes, I did again. Maybe brown envelopes. Maybe, again, there's a chance the club are looking to those again to fill those positions you just mentioned, but are just taking their time. And usually, again, I've seen a pattern since they took over, Bolly and Co took over the club. If they're going after a particular player, we don't hear anything about it until a critical stage, really. But we'll see what happens. A DM and a right back should be the priority for me. I think they're probably prioritizing those things because except if Porta doesn't recognize we have problem in those areas, and if that's the case, then we're in serious trouble because you can say more than 50% of solving a problem is recognizing that you have a problem. So that's why I'm saying if Potter doesn't recognize we have a problem in again in the right back position, again or full back position right on right hand side, central attacking midfielders, then yeah, he shouldn't be actually be the coach of this club because that's important. Kimso Alba should go. I feel the same too. But if we can't bring in a replacement, we shouldn't even think about it because it is dangerous indeed. If our players have pride, they will win us the UEFA Champions League or the FA Cup. But maybe I am asking too much. I don't know. You go slug it out with them. I'm not gonna get into an argument. Yes, people, again, it's Saturday again, and as we can go as long as we want. But yeah, I'll try to get as many contributions in the chart. Then I'll scroll to the very bottom because as much as I enjoy doing it, if I keep doing it, that would be the only thing we'd do. And then again, until the show comes to an end. If I can, I've read that one. And to my brother and captain of the house, Liam Lane, he says, yes, please keep liking the stream if you haven't. Again, as you're coming in, like this stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. 44 likes. Let's try to get it to 100 likes as soon as possible, please. I'd really appreciate that. I wouldn't mind Zaha, again, to be honest, especially now that Stalin and Pulisic are out. We don't really have any left wingers by trade available right now. Yeah, even if they are available, really, I wouldn't mind us signing wingers such as Mudryk, because since we lost Willian and Pedro, we haven't had any winger you say that are as productive as players again who are worthy of playing for Chelsea Football Club. I've said that 1,000 times and I'm going to keep saying it. Yes, Pulisic is a winger. Zia can play in the wing, again on the flanks too. Stalling, but their again output has been again anything honestly shocking, really, if we're being honest. Although you could argue that other factors has contributed to that being the case, I'm still concerned they're not going to help us reach there, really. But that's, by the way, again, we need a creative midfielder. Yep, we said that before. Zubairu, Rayman, if you pull all caps, yeah, thank you for educating them. If you use all caps when you're typing, or if you use more than 3 emojis, yeah, the robot, it's not a human being, it's a machine. It will time you out. So you don't start fighting with it. I'm not going to lie, I don't want Thuram. I think he wouldn't be, again, the best signing for us, to be honest. I think probably it just looks as if the club want to get him to balance things out because he's a physical specimen. He's tall, he's powerful, he's strong, he's quick too. Plus, he's a good footballer overall. I think that's why we need to balance things a bit. We need that powerhouse in the attacking area. What's happening to Enzo, we'll get to talk that in a bit. Mudryk, first priority is the Premier League. Exactly. That's what, again, you said that yesterday again. He didn't specifically say Arsenal. The only, like I said, the strongest, again, telling or evidence that people have brought up is that he's liking the post of Arsenal fans are telling him, saying, wishing him happy birthday. Again, there's nothing bigger than that has happened, if we're being honest. But that's, by the way, I move on from that one. I think I shared the wrong link to the panelist group. I will redo that, but I'm enjoying this. So just give me a bit of a minute here. I think a DM is the most important. Just one second here. Again, a lot of moving pieces here. It's not simple. I think a DM is the most important signing for us right now. We have signed so many CBs. It's not too many, really. When Thomas Tuchel was and when he was, again, sorry, and let me say this, when he was, again, when we were looking at quite a number of defenders in the summer, everybody was going, even I was asking what are we doing? Are we building Fort Knox? It turns out we needed that depth, and we didn't realize that until we started struggling defensively. Let me see what else I have. Freeze again. It's going to be difficult to navigate this today. But thank goodness I have two screens. Let's see. Okay, maybe it's sort of work right now. Very, very difficult. What is happening here? Okay, I hope it doesn't knock me out, but at least it's still showing. Yeah, so again, it says Bashir Balogun. That sounds like a typical Nigerian. Yeah, so yeah. So my brother again, I love it. Again, activate Enzo Fernandez, Francis Winter. Let's see what happens. I don't want us to bend over for anybody because it's a risk, so to speak. It sets a dangerous precedent, and we don't want to go that angle. Already we're in trouble. Already as we are right now, every club we go to for a player again wants a premium payment from us. And in most cases, we don't get even premium players. So it's a dangerous thing to do, really, if we're being honest. Let me see where I am with this. This is really giving me serious problem. Nemanja, okay, you're talking with Nemanja there. Let's see what we have here. Just quickly, it's a bit slow. Kante signed new contract or not? I think it's, again, emergent news says, again, he's on the verge of signing a new contract, and that makes me very, very happy. Yes, people, count that you guys are absolute legend. I'm going to say that again. We have, again, 53 likes already. I guess we can shoot for 200 today. So please keep liking the video as you join, and please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. As far back as I can remember watching Chelsea since 1992, this is the worst Chelsea team I have ever seen. Yeah, with, again, you could say defined by a couple of, again, undesired factors. A whole lot of problematic stuff here, but we're not going to go into that. But it makes sense. It's been a while since we played this badly. Some say under Carlo Ancelotti, that was the time he had a bad run in the Premier League. Yeah, it is concerning. I'm concerned about the club's immediate future. Yes, you could say the long-term future is settled. We've signed a lot of, again, a lot of good players. Yeah, but this is something different right here. I'm concerned about the immediate future, given, again, it's looking like we're not going to make it into top four. And if that happens, it will be very difficult to do it again, to get it done a coming season. Yes, I saw it again. Okay. But it wasn't Here We Go. I think he was talking about something else, but I get that in a bit. Let's see. It says, look at what Casemiro is doing for Manchester United, or how key Partey is for Arsenal. Having a player so limited in Jorginho in that role, again, for so long has been holding us back big time. Chelsea better get the DM. It remains to be seen whether Potter likes to, again, to play with traditional DMs. I suspect the case is otherwise. But let's see what happens. Again, if we cannot bring in a replacement for Alba, we cannot let him go. I think that makes perfect sense. That's a delicious comment right there. Yeah, so I wouldn't count on that. Even if we want him to leave, if we don't bring in a replacement, he stays. Again, what a steal it would be if we can get Vlahovic with Datro Fofana, who also plays in the flank. And again, if I were the coach, I'd play him as a second striker because of his ability on the ball. Again, he created 22 chances, and he's a striker, had 3 assists, completed 52 take-ons. So I'd rather him start off from the flanks because he can do some magic there, actually, than start him centrally. It would be, again, wasting his talent. So, yeah, let's see. Chelsea need a good striker better than Alba. I don't think a striker is really, again, the problem we should be looking at mainly. Basit Abdul, please, some Chelsea fans, I don't want Mudryk, but when he goes to Arsenal and start performing well, again, you the same will accuse, again, Chelsea for not buying him. We will, again, I wouldn't call, again, our interest on Mudryk or in Mudryk as a hijack, actually. We started looking at him during the summer, but for some reason we decided to spend less that summer. I think we had other areas where the club probably believed should be the priority, and I think they solved the problem. Had the previous manager stayed, I think probably by now he would have a strong unit. But we're struggling because we have a new manager trying to implement a new identity, if you want to call it that, or system. But again, we'll move on from that. Let's see what happens. What about Hudson-Odoi? I'm not sure about his situation. We don't have a callback clause. There was a time a lot of people talked about the possibility of the club bringing him back this January window, because the truth remains, I think he's actually a better dribbler than Sterling. He completes, again, if you correct me if I'm wrong, Sterling has struggled really to complete a single. Every time he completes a single dribble, you celebrate it. Hudson-Odoi is more physical, really. He was starting actually to get again. Thomas Tuchel was starting to trust him even more. But I think him leaving Chelsea wasn't down to Thomas Tuchel alone. I think at one time he wanted to leave. He was impatient, wanted to be starting games. But if we can bring him back, I think Graham Potter will get the best out of him. That's some player. I'm being honest here. I know a lot of Chelsea fans were quick to point fingers at him. Whenever we lose game, it's not Chelsea's standard. Forgetting he was just 21 at that point. But because, again, we've seen him for a long time, we expect him to start performing like Messi and all that. Again, thank you so much, guys. Good morning from Johnson William. Good morning to you too. I hope you're doing well. Let's see anything else to address. The major problem Chelsea needs to address is the defensive midfield key position followed by a flying right wing back. Wow, yeah, to compete with Reece James or rotate with Reece James, so that whoever comes on again it will be fresh. So I'm going to try to look at some of the people that I haven't looked at here. I enjoy reading these, but if I continue doing it, that's the only thing we do for the rest of the day. Again, I will catch up, then scroll past quite a few, and apologies for again in advance because I'm going to do that. Then I'll try to get your subsequent contributions. If you're watching, if you haven't, please take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. I'm sure we do need a midfielder. How many players does Chelsea want to buy? Why talk of buying and not identifying the best 11? The coach has problems with identifying the potential in his players. Chelsea stick to your team, and that's Omorok Samgido. Here's the thing. I don't think that in some cases, some of those players you hear their names pop up as Chelsea targets. We're actually not linked with some of them. Some of them, if you pay attention, again, they're in Chelsea's wish list. Maybe, again, a second option if we don't get the other player. Some are saying, again, we're looking at considering. So we're not, again, buying all those players, really, which it's not possible, if we're being honest. It looks like I'm close to catching up with what we have in the chat, and that will make me happy. Mudryk is better signing if he is added to the team. Yep. Again, I think he will make us again stronger. And if Arsenal signs him, believe me, I think he can. He's capable of helping them win the league, even as a rotational player. Really, he's that good. They want 100 million from Mudryk. I think it was 80 plus pounds. Again, I want to buy this guy. Then he flops. What? I want Chelsea to buy this guy. Then he flops. You must not be, again, a Chelsea fan, but that's not a problem. Again, I'll be happy to, again, if true, Kante have signed a new contract. I don't think he has signed already. He's close to. That's what we're hearing. Okay, an Arsenal fan there. I'm going to skip that in a bit. I think about, again, the coach, by the time when needed to sub a players, not sub, yeah, he doesn't make changes on time. I guess that's the overall thing you're trying to say there. But let me just read this. Arsenal will make Chelsea spend 80 million plus for this player because they will not overspend. I know Arsenal don't like to pay big money for players, but I get your point. Let's see what happens. If anything, we're the one that will push Arsenal to pay more because they really want them. Yep, I've read that one. And to my brother here, the vote. Nice to see you, bro. Have you lost all hope for this season? No. Mathematically, it's still possible. But here's the thing. The only solid solution will be to be strategic in the market, not just spend for the sake of it. And I'm going to say something that somebody said here the other day in the chat. That much money that we're going to be paying for Enzo, we could get it, again, split it and get some, again, you could say not the really big name talent, but talents that can solve our problem. For instance, Moses Caicedo was signed for just £4 million pounds. And look how well he's doing, and you know his price tag right now. So since it's a project, since it's a long-term project, and since making it into top four, again, it's not an issue for the owner. Not making it into top four, let me be clear there. Then why not, again, spend wisely? Why not, again, take our time to spend? And if Enzo deal is being problematic, just pull out. But I don't think they pull out that thing. They're going to get him given the things we're hearing and seeing. So that's, by the way, I'm going to move on to the panel. My brother, TyTalk, is already on the panel. Ty, big up to you. Thank you so much for finding the time to join, Ty. Before we'll move to the topics we have lined up out there. Your thoughts on the overall, again, transfer saga going on. I want to hear from you before we move on to that.
The contract, what?
Everything, all the transfer, again, news, rumors, your thoughts on all of them. I think it's crazy, really. The Thuram one, it came out of nowhere. But I'd rather we go for Vlahovic and again, and also because we already have Dr. Fofana. But I don't know what's going on. But your thoughts, Ty?
Honestly, this whole thing has been very confusing. I mean, it always happens every window. We're linked with nearly every player that you can possibly be linked with, and nothing. And some of them never come to anything. So, I mean, it's nothing surprising, but it gets frustrating when you get linked with players that we're not even going to go for. We will approach them, and it's just the media just trying to get some reaction and some interactions from fans. I think this whole situation surrounding Mudryk is very confusing. I am aware of this report saying that he would be more than open to joining Chelsea if we made an offer, and but he's still keen on Arsenal. I don't understand that. I'm not sure if I would buy that, because his behavior seems a bit more like he's definitely keen to join Arsenal, and it would just be Arsenal. So I'm not sure about that. This mention of I don't know how to pronounce his name, but the French striker, I think.
Thuram, Marcus
Yeah,
Thuram, the son of Lilian Thuram, former French
yeah,
international.
yeah. I think when it comes on to that, I'm not surprised about it. They're gonna give Chelsea this perspective that they're desperate for a striker, which to me I don't think that they should be or would be, because they have a striker. They have one, and if they assess him first, give him an opportunity and slowly integrate him into the team, I don't really think that it would be better for us to be spending more on another striker when you also have another striker that will be coming back after the end of the season, most likely. So I'm not sure about that, but these transfer rumors have been really crazy. We've been linked with everybody. I'm even seeing Pavard mentions going back up. We're getting linked with Benjamin Pavard again. So I'm not sure. Our name will not stop being mentioned until some of these players are willing to go to other clubs.
Yeah, I get it. And Shil Kotowara says, I prefer Enzo Fernandez than Modric. Here's the thing. They're two different type of players, if we're being honest. So we shouldn't actually be comparing them. Enzo is again plays centrally. Modric plays on the flanks. I haven't seen him play centrally. If you have, you let me know. Again, so they're two different type of players. We shouldn't even begin saying prefer this over the other one, if that makes any sort of sense to you. If you're watching, there's a new feature there that has emojis. Again, if you can help, again, click on the heart emoji. Send quite a lot. You can send 1,000 if you want. Just keep tapping the heart emoji screen on your screen. Again, if you see it on the left-hand side, send a lot of that. That helps us, again, reach more people. Let's see what we have here. Anything else to discuss? Again, we're always busy buying up players, again, but still losing matches. Why? That's, again, you're buying players because you're losing matches to solve the problem you have. If that makes any sort of sense to you, please, if you're not talking, mute your mic so we don't get feedback. The feedback can be, again, irritating to those that are watching. Again, how many players are Chelsea signed this summer? Okay, I get what you mean. 3, yeah. We've signed 3 players this winter, this general transfer window already. Dacho Fofana, Andreas Santos, and then Benoit Badeshile. Tell me if I missed any of them. Chelsea isn't going to win anything for the next 10 years. That's really seriously pessimistic, if you ask me. But that's, by the way, again, I'm going to move to the very, very bottom. Yeah, please stop spamming. Yeah, indeed. Wally Walder, thank you so much for policing very well. That quite a lot of messages to write. And when you write that many, again, it becomes difficult for me to concentrate there and do what I'm doing correctly. Do Chelsea really have a plan for the players they are linked with? I think we do. For Modric, we have issues with our wingers. I don't even know if they do know how to play with as wingers right now. All they do is just pass the ball backwards, sideways. They don't, again, in tight situations or when opposition defend deep, they don't do anything to beat that low block. They always, again, opt for safer options, if that makes any set of sense to you. So, yeah, I don't think, I think that needs to change. Modric is a guy who's capable of beating his man and never shies away from taking on players. That's what we want to see in the team, really, if we're being honest. Just give me a second. I'm having, again, an issue with my screen. It probably have a lot open here. Chelsea isn't, okay. And do you say that, again, like how many times? Like a million times? Okay, I'm going to skip that. I'm not going to read any of your comments again. Okay. Yeah. You're going to be, the machine is going to time you out. Rafinha, Jesus, and Richarlison scenario loading. If anything, we'll get to that. I have something I want to talk about, but I get your again, your argument there. Obetius Richardo says Chelsea's transfer with Benfica is always successful, but Enzo's price tag is abnormal. And then I'm still asking the question: did we really agree to pay the buyback clause and then went for the negotiations with a different amount of money? 40 million shots, if the rumors have to be believed. But let's see, Chelsea need to sign Mudryk. I agree with you. We do need to sign him. He makes a whole lot of difference. Chelsea fans are dying over a player that likes a poster saying he doesn't want Chelsea and twerking up for our next team. Okay, show me where I really want to see that one in particular. Hello, everyone. We are winning tomorrow. Go Chelsea. Chama Yosef, I hope we win tomorrow. That will make a whole lot of difference. That's okay if Chelsea won't win anything in the next 10 years, but we are, again, Chelsea fans forever. Thank you very much. Thank you, Monday Mvele. That is the best way to put it. But at least, again, the next 10 years, Arsenal, they're not going to win as many stuff we win in the last 15 years. And if anything, we're coming back. If anything, yeah, even if they end up winning the league this season, believe me, they're going to come close. We have, again, something special loading, again, for the long-term future. I'm just concerned about the club's short-term future, if anything. So I'm not really concerned, but it's not going to be 10 years. I think the most we'll suffer will be this season, really, given all the signings we've made and given the signings we'll still make, really. Someone don't understand football. I don't know Modric's position is different from Enzo. Again, position, and we both, if possible. Yeah, just don't worry about that. I want to know what's happening with Ryan. Everything is gone quiet around that kid. We haven't heard much. The last time I saw anything relating to Ryan, I don't know how correctly to pronounce his name, was his agent saying, again, the deal is still on, that it could still happen. Other than that, nothing else again. But that's, by the way, good content. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, brother. I hope you're enjoying it. And please do tell others about Chelsea Perspective. We're a family here. Chelsea need going to Ajax. Let's see again, we've never had Willian kind of progressing since he left. And again, his output as a winger, Pedro, those are special players. Left, and I think Mudryk is that kind of player. Yep, Mudryk is that good. Produces a lot of a lot of assists. He's a winger, but he creates a lot of chances. And again, I like him so much. More Curtis, please. I think we should bring back Eden Hazard to give assists to our strikers. The score goes for us. Yeah, I get it. I do love it, the Eden Hazard myself. But like I've said before, I think the club, it doesn't look like the club, again, they're serious. Seriously, they're going to consider bringing him back. Why do I say that? It just looks as if he just stays there, and every time he wins something, we get a couple of millions. And to them, they're not sure how well he's going to do if he comes back. In life, no limit. Big up, Coach, panel and chat, big up to you too. Chelsea, okay, that's not English. Abdu, I'm not sure what language that is. If anybody understood what Abdu wrote, again, I'd really appreciate it to help me interpret so I can read it. Enzo Dean make the squad for Benfica last game quite interesting. I would prefer he keeps professional. Personally, I think he's being professional. I think they try. I don't know. All the rumors that, again, he's rebelling. I don't think he's rebelling. First of all, they rumored that he went AWOL. Then we learned that Marcus Ruiz, the president, he went to him for permission, and he granted him the permission to travel to Argentina. If Enzo does come, I haven't given up yet. I haven't either. Who plays alongside him? And I do think he will help us again massively. I do think he can play with this system. Again, he can Kante. You can be paired with Kante, and with Kante, he has the freedom to do his thing. Even with Zacharias Hussein, he'd have the freedom to do his thing and not have a problem. I would love to see Mudryk at Chelsea. The guy is very good and can improve. Yep. Thank you very much for saying that. Panel again. Paying that much for a player who's only played in the Ukrainian league is a bit more for me. Here's the thing: Ukrainian players who signed from the Ukrainian league actually they do better than players signed from the German league. Actually, Fernandinho was signed again from I think from Shakhtar. William was signed from Shakhtar. They do well, really. It's a tough league. It's not as soft as most people think it is. Vibe said, he said again, Chelsea must do everything to sign Mykhailo Mudryk. He's a good target. He is indeed. Again, I love him. If we get him, I think it's better than a lot of the players we have. Again, let me say something quickly. If you're watching, there's a new something you can be tapping the heart emoji to help us reach more people. That triggers the YouTube algorithm, and I'd really appreciate that. So thank you so much. Now let's look at the topics we have lined up. I've gotten a few. Again, we'll be giving you some update live, and I'll get that in a bit. Let's start with this one here. That just 1 second, the screen seemed to be frozen. Yep, this one says goalkeeper Edouard Mendy has undergone an operation on a fractured finger. Okay, sustained in training this week. Was it really this week? Because he didn't play against Bournemouth. Yeah, it's this week. The 30-year-old will work closely with the club's medical department. That's a problem for me. I need him to, if he again does any nonsense or consistently makes some nonsense mistakes, his place will be, again, he loses his place. Ty, tell me, can you still hear me, Ty?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. It looks like it again. My screen again is frozen. So yeah, again, I hope again he gets better because I need him. We need that competition there. If it's not available, I think that can cause a problem for us. Kepa will most likely not be at his best.
Yeah. Probably that's why, because I'm hearing that Selena was in training. Okay, coach is kicked out. I guess we could probably start with what Paul Reynolds is asking. Has Chelsea signed Enzo? No, they have not. There's nothing agreed. There's no information on if Chelsea have reopened talks and if there's any progression or anything like that. It's just been the same where Chelsea will have to decide if they're going to go for him or if they're just going to move on. But no, Chelsea have not signed Enzo, and there's nothing really there. Luko Chuola, if we didn't sign a midfielder, would you make Zakaria a permanent deal in the summer? I think at this moment in time, making Zakaria a permanent deal would be a good thing. I mean, if he continues to perform like he's performing now, I still think he needs to improve in terms of distribution of the ball. But at the moment, it would be a good bargain signing. I mean, it reminds me of what we did with Kovacic. So if we can um, look at what he's doing, if he continues to perform at this level, then perhaps it'll be easier to just trigger that buy option and make it a permanent stay. I think it would be logical. And Supreme is saying Fred was signed from Shakhtar. Okay, good. That's very good for Man United. I suppose he's doing quite well for them. And Liam Lane is obviously saying, please like and subscribe. Yeah, Liam Petula calls you the captain of the stream, and Yeah, what Liam is saying is actually true. You need to like and subscribe. I'm not sure how much likes we're on. It says 75 for me. We're getting closer to 100, so that's an excellent progression. We're doing quite well. So 100 likes, we can get there. We can do it. So yeah, and in life, no limits. We paid over the odds for Wesley Fofana, Kukurea, and one or two others. We will be seen as an easy cash cow if we don't stop overspending on players. Yes, Budget may be a good player, but not that amount. Well, yeah, I can agree with that, Abid, but it's always going to happen. This market has changed. So you're going to have to overspend a lot of players if you want them, and that's just reality. I see Coachella is back.
Yeah, I think the problem is StreamYard. It's acting up. I don't know why. Not really the internet connection. But thank you very much, Ty. Your experience has helped quite a lot here. And yes, people, we have 77 likes. We can get it to 100 as soon as possible. And the poll, an update from the poll, I'm looking at it. Would you like Chelsea to sign Modric? 68% says yes. 32% says no, too expensive. We'll see. I think we can beat the price down, actually. For instance, we thought that the club we were going to pay how much was it again? That we were going to pay how much for Fine at 70 plus. We ended up getting him for less at around 60 and a bit more. If we didn't sign a midfield, would you make Zakaria a permanent deal? I don't even need to sign a midfield before I make it a permanent deal. But there's still time. I think he's here till the end of the season. He's shown every time he comes on, he's done quite well. And at each time, he gets better and better and better. And I believe he would have done better, actually, the game before the Man City game, had he played again as in a double pivot, just like he's shown. I think he does better in a double pivot. But that's, by the way, let's see what happens. Yes, guys, again, please keep liking the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're getting closer to 100 likes. It looks like we're going to get to 200 likes a day, 78 likes already. But I know, given how many people we have in the chat, we should be doing more than 100 plus likes at this point. Yes, keep liking the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I think we've gained nearly, again, 25 to 30 subscribers already, and the community will keep growing. Again, thank you so much for saying that. I'm not sure. Again, we paid over, again, the odds. I think Ty have read that too. Ty, thanks so much for reading it. Let's see what else we have. Tomorrow's game. We will talk about that tomorrow again during the Blue Morning Show before the game starts. Forgot about Modric's deal. He is for Arsenal. Okay, if you feel that, let's see what happens. Never say never until I see him holding an Arsenal shirt and they release again a statement saying they've signed him. Then I'll take him. That would explain why he hasn't made the squad as bad as again his form has been. Yeah, I think he's the second choice goalkeeper at this point. Yeah, I think I was concerned too. I thought it has to do with his contract renewal issues or stallmate. It was Liam Lane that explained that he broke a bone. I was thinking on his leg or so. Then it turned out it was his finger. I think again it would have been an insult to have Bettinelli as a backup ahead of him. Between Kepa is still not good enough. I get the argument. I know he's going to get a lot of stick for that mistake because it happened twice on the day, really. Chelsea need going to Ajax. I think I've read this one, or maybe you're just repeating it. So I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Apologies if I scroll past your comments. I will try to get your subsequent comments. Thuram, why? Again, any evidence he's a finisher. Kolo Muani looked better in the final to me. The way that is phrased is very, very funny to me. I have to be I have to be honest. Like, why in this world are we looking at him? I really do not know. Again, but he's just maybe because of his build. He's powerful. He's tall. He's pacey too. And I don't know. Again, he hasn't done this consistently. Yes, again, you could say he's in brilliant form this particular season. But he hasn't done well this season, really. But we'll get there. I get it. That's funny, really. Have to. Okay, you guys again having a conversation there. Todd should recall Thomas to come back and sack Potter because the team is too big for him to coach. If that's what you're thinking, I don't think Eagle will ever allow them to do that. And I have had that hardly happens in world football, really. Coach, good morning again. I hope you're all doing good. Philip Smith, I hope you're doing good, brother. Again, do let us know that you're well. Just 1 second here. Again, I'm having an issue. I forgot to restart my system before the show started. Please like and subscribe. And again, to the channel if you haven't. Yes, people, keep liking the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Like I've explained before, if you look at just on your screen, there's again a red heart and other emojis. You can use the red one. Again, click it 1,000 times. It doesn't matter. Use that again to help us reach more people. I'd really appreciate that. I wonder, Chelsea get plenty strike again. We're not going to get too many strikers. Whether we sign a midfielder or not, we should sign Zakaria at the price. Again, it will be an absolute steal given what we've seen that he's capable of doing. 35 million euros, that's around 28 million pounds. That's an absolute steal, and he is in his prime, and balance is important. At his age, we need his experience, and he's shown he fights too. It's not about just playing. You can again bring a dirty play against him and get away with it. He comes at you. And you could see his fist the other day. I know he's not going to punch the man, but he's showing you can't do that to me. And that's the spirit we haven't had at Chelsea for a long time now. You see that from Reece James, but he hasn't learned how to, you could say, apply that effectively. Every time he tries it, he gets carded. I want to see a lot of that in all departments on the pitch. Thuram is good, Kachila. Be fair to him. I'm not saying he's bad. My point is, has he done it consistently? But his numbers this season, I gotta say they're excellent. But has he done that consistently? That's my question. But if the club are looking at him, we have Vivel, who also again understands the German league very well and probably have seen him day in, day out. Maybe again he's the one advising the club to get him. Let's see if that happens. I think Chelsea should definitely sign Enzo. I think he will end up coming to Chelsea Football Club. That's what I think. Maybe again that is just the optimistic side of me, not again facing the truth. Some think it's never going to happen, but let's see what happens there. Again, sure, would like Chelsea to sign Mudryk. I've heard he will be happy to join Chelsea too. We'll talk about that in a bit. Chelsea manager sucks, let him go. Okechukwu. I'm not going to say why I like that name, but that's by the way, bro. Okechukwu, one day, just welcome to the channel. Would you take Lautaro Martinez anytime, any day? Especially on the, I wanted him on the Thomas Tuchel, but anytime, any day on the what's his name, on the Graham Potter. He's again, you could call him a hybrid striker if you want to. He can also play again in multiple positions. Let me just phrase it like that. I'll take him anytime, any day. But that's by the way. So this says Mudryk wants to sign for Arsenal, but would be equally happy to become a Chelsea player. As much as I believe this, that's a Sky Sports. I believe this. That's not the only source, really. As much as I believe this, this gives me a serious PTSD, really, for being honest. Because if you remember, the same thing was said about Rafinha. Yeah, that's where I'm concerned. But that's, by the way, it just reminds me of that case anyway. Your thoughts, Hakeem, before I go to Ty. I don't know if you've spoken when I got kicked out, but your thoughts on the fact, again, he will be happy to join Chelsea, which means to me, I think what he's saying, if any of the club, again, I'm willing to join any of the clubs that, again, that ends up reaching an agreement with Shakhtar Donetsk, I will join that club happily. Plus, we've heard that, again, the Chelsea hierarchy have also said they're not willing to go all in for him until they get a reassurance from him that he'd be willing to join us if we reach an agreement with Shakhtar Donetsk. So you go ahead. Your thoughts?
For me, the only thing that I'm going to say is right now, if they want him, the earlier the better, and they also have to make sure that they execute this before it's too late. Because in our last transfer negotiation, we had some issues thinking that we had these players already, and the players, deviated and went to different teams. We had so many issues, like with Barcelona, to the extent that people were like, we were like laughing stock. So with Mudryk, from what I've seen, I cannot say no to such player, because when you look at our wingers, they are nothing to. They don't have anything for you to say, oh, okay, these people are exceptional. They could change a game within a blink of an eye. They keep on giving us heart attack over and over again. So if we're going to add something in our arsenal, like regardless of the price, right now we also have to come to the fact that I see people talking about the money. We have to come to the fact that the transfer market has changed. Everything has changed since the corona and this war issue. It's not only like economy, football, everything has changed. So we have to come to the realization that you have to spend money if you want, especially in January. Also, you have to spend money and get what you want. And yeah, so if they are going to get him, I think it should be rapid. Like they should make it as early as possible. And I don't think Arsenal is willing to pay the amount that Dynamo is it Dynamo Zagreb or Kiev?
Who?
His team. I don't think Arsenal
Shakhtar
are willing.
Donetsk. You're talking about Mudryk, right?
Yeah, Mudryk.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not sure. Arsenal are willing to go to a bidding war with Chelsea, and also, I also understand the Chelsea board because they feel like they wouldn't like anyone to hold them for ransom if they want a player. And for some extent, I understand them. For some extent, I don't understand them. And Chelsea fans also have to understand that. Listen, there's nothing wrong. I'm coming. My son is in. Come.
Okay, yeah. Please take care of him. He should be the priority. You can always come in when he's okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
he just wake up.
Okay. Yeah, you can always come in when he's fine. Ty, do you have anything to add to this, or should we move on? Okay, I'm going to try to get what we have in the chat. It looks like Ty is away from his desk. Zakaria is getting better. We really need him for the future, and hopefully Chelsea may sign Enzo. We need him to. Zakaria, again, like Lemlin said already, even if we sign a new player, I'd really want us to keep Dennis Zakaria. Again, he's proven what a buy he will be for us. Like I said, when we newly signed him, again, this argument as to why in the first place would Juventus want to loan him out, let alone sell him if it's that good, and how many games did he play in the World Cup? I made that argument too. But I also made the argument again, you never know. If he gets a chance, he may end up being, again, another, his case may end up being similar to that of Mateo Kovacic, whom many people didn't give a chance. And look him, he's one of the best, again, most consistent, if not for injuries, again, the player we've had at the club for a long while now. So it makes sense to keep him, even if we sign a player. But to me, he's not a traditional DM, really. But he's capable of fulfilling that role. He's well equipped to play the hybrid of 8 and 6. And again, again, how he finds solution in tight spaces was just amazing, really. He's a good dribbler, and I know most people don't give him credit for that, and probably because of how tall he is or his build. Usually, again, players that are built like that usually are not technically gifted as he is. Inter are willing to sell him. Again, I think he could be a player we could get and have him. And in Kunku, what player in question? Okay, Lautaro Martinez. Yeah. I don't think they'd sell him. If anything, I've heard they want to sell. They want to sell the Dutch international Denzel Dumfries, and I think they also want to sell the right centre back. What's his name again? That we talked about quite a lot during the summer transfer window. But yeah, let's see what happens again. Yes, people, you see that that happens again. 108 votes. Participant in the poll, and only 87 likes. Even you see the votes have overtaken the likes. Please, guys, if you're watching, even if you're not participating in the chat, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream. The likes do go a long way for the channel. It helps us reach more people. So thank you so much for finding the time to join. Did I read this again? Chelsea is having an incredible young midfielder called Zakaria. Again, we only need Mudryk, not Enzo. Really? And again, and I am requesting calmness from fans. We will win trophies, but maybe not this season or the shares. If we're being honest, we have a big problem to solve first before we win anything. If anything, we should be fighting to get into top 4. Personally, I don't trust Sky Sports public news is silly to me. Again, it's a bit
Yeah, since coach is not there, so let me finish my point. For me, what I'm saying is Chelsea supporters have to understand that the board can only control what they can, but they cannot control how teams choose to sell their players or how teams choose to do with their players. So I think it's okay, it's all right for the Chelsea board to present, a fees to the teams, or talk to the player, but it's also up to the player and the teams to then agree with what Chelsea present, because it's normal for two teams to negotiate. So I don't see why people have to get angry when Chelsea don't get some players. It's also like I've been reading a lot of things online where people keep on saying, yeah, we cannot get some players because the Chelsea board are doing this. The Chelsea board cannot force, or teams for the teams to sell some players, like the players to them. And the same supporters will also be saying that this player doesn't deserve this amount. This player doesn't deserve to be. It's not this amount type of player. But then, if Chelsea couldn't get these players, then the same Chelsea supporters will come out and say, "Oh, like, yeah, we paid this amount for this player. This player is not, So I think we have to be patient, and also, I know this is not time for me to say we should trust the process, but there's nothing we can do. And what Chelsea is going through now, for me, I feel like I'm some sad, some part of me I'm sad, but some part of me I'm happy, because in life, sometimes you have to go through hardship to recognize your problem. And assuming if we are not facing this hardship, there are so many players that we think we need, but at this point, we know that we don't want Jorginho. We know that we don't need Aspi. There are some things that we've also recognized that there are some places that we have to improve. Yeah, so for me, the problem that we are facing right now, like, there is positive side of it. Not like we shouldn't always concentrate on the negative. I know there's tension rising because Chelsea hardly win matches. So these are some things that we also have to consider. And also, I also see Chelsea supporters talk about Thomas Tuchel. Listen, we are done with Thomas Tuchel. We have to progress and look forward. He is done, and we can also talk. If you guys want us to go there, we can also talk about some things that he did and he didn't, like some things that he did and he couldn't do it right. Let's talk about. I think Thomas Tuchel, when it comes to development of players, he's not like that good. Like when you look at our attackers under Thomas Tuchel, our attackers started deforming under Thomas Tuchel, and this is and what Porter is experiencing right now is what he inherited from Thomas Tuchel. When you look at Ziyech, when you look at Mason Mount, Pulisic, these players, like all of them started deforming under Thomas Tuchel, and I was wondering, how is this happening? Like, none of our attackers were on form. Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, all of these attackers started deforming under Thomas Tuchel. And also, when you look at his relationship with players, like I think he has problem to have like a good relationship with players. People might talk about, might blame, what is his name? I've forgotten. Lukaku for what he like, for whatever the antics that happened between he and Chelsea. But when you look, he and Thomas Tuchel, like, they had like a really bad relationship. And I remember I was watching football. I was watching Chelsea against, I don't know which team, I've forgotten. And he changed Colomonson Odai in the first I think in about 30 minutes. And it wasn't like he was playing bad or anything. I don't know. Nobody knows why he changed him. And it's not like Chelsea was also playing bad. So, when you, and Onsonodai was, I think, about 19 years old. Imagine you are doing this to a player who, like, who at this age, what is going to do to him, mentally. So, and there are some players that don't want to play under Thomas Tuchel, like Arsenal, that wanted to go, like in his second year, he wanted to move out from Chelsea. He wanted to go to Bayern Munich because of the relationship that he has with Tuchel. And also Tommy Abraham, what he did with Tommy Abraham. So nobody knows the reason why. Nobody knows the reason why Tommy Abraham wanted to. Tommy Abraham wasn't playing at Chelsea because he was our top goal scorer, and then Thomas Tuchel came and started benching him for no reason. We don't know why. Even the time that we needed him on the pitch, he doesn't want to put him in.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep talking. I'm trying again to find a solution for what's going on here. I'm not sure what's going on. It's a brand new system, actually. But that's, by the way, I appreciate you again holding the fort for me. Let me see. I will go with what I have in the chat for a while, but you can go ahead and talk more. You can talk more about which one again you were talking about, Mudryk, right? Go ahead with it. If you see anything, has Mudryk put up his numbers consistently? Mudryk just emerged, really. He just emerged this past season, if we're being honest. But his numbers are exceptional too. You could argue he hasn't done that consistently, but he's a winger. But in the case, you can say in the case of what's his name, in the case of Thuram, we already have, you can say we have numbers in that area. And but if anything, because he comes, he probably most likely, correct me if I'm wrong, escape me tracks, Supreme Court, he comes on a free. So if he's gonna come on a free, then yeah, I wouldn't mind us getting him just to make up the numbers. But who makes way really? We have Dacho Fofana and Armando Broya will come back sometime. Except if we're not gonna, if the truth is, if the club has decided to forfeit the pursuit of what's his name, Dusan Vlahovic, like we've heard, maybe that's fine. I'm not saying we shouldn't get him, but we haven't seen him perform consistently. I think that his numbers just become better this year, and maybe he's picked up form. So I wouldn't go against the club getting him. But if I have to choose of the two players, I'd choose Mudryk for obvious reason. He's still 21. And Thuram, isn't he 25? So
he's 20. Thuram is 24.
Is it 24? I think he's 25 already. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, because I was checking his profile. He's 24. Maybe okay, it could be 25. I don't think there's big difference between 24 and 25. So
yeah. Again, the poll that asks the question: would you like Chelsea to sign Mudryk? Is something again. The 64% say yes, he is better than what we have. And 36% say no. Again, too expensive. Don't worry, guys. I'll fix the system. Now we're sharing the topic on the screen with you. Apologies. I'm trying to fix the main system. I'm just using an iPad, and it's not well positioned here. Moses Caicedo is supposed to be on Chelsea's radar too. We heard that quite a lot. Again, the list is wrong. Again, quite long, so to speak. We have Moses Caicedo. I think even Ismail Banesa, Amrabat, Declan Rice. There are a few of them. Caicedo, like you mentioned, some of them I haven't. We have quite a lot of players again that we're looking at if we believe the rumors. Yeah,
Coach, I want to ask you something. Do you think this happens to other teams? Like how? When it comes to Chelsea, it's more like we are linked with every player. You know, I don't go to other teams. I don't know what other teams discuss. My only concentration is on Chelsea. But it seems like when it comes to Chelsea, like it's more like we are linked with every player. It's not like it's also come from the board. I feel like this is what these Twitter journalists do. I don't know if they do the same thing to other teams, but I think with Chelsea, it's really more. What do you think? Do you think it's only Chelsea or they do that to all the teams?
We did set a dangerous precedent under Roman Abramovich, where just pay the money, get the player in most cases. You could again, I can start naming a lot of players that you could argue were overpaid for them. So clubs know that. And even though, again, we did set a dangerous precedent, I think you could argue to some extent Marina fixed that. As much as some people don't think she was perfect for us, she did a lot of stuff wrong. Some people would argue that, but she was a good negotiator. But that's, by the way, but it has gotten worse now, given that clubs do sense desperation, and we're desperate, if we're being honest. The desperation started when we lost Andreas Christensen and what's his name, Antonio Rudiger, and again we were going for defenders. If you were following the whole situation, I know you heard again the amount of money that's being quoted for us because they understood again we were desperate. For instance, when we sold Kodzuma again with the confidence that we were gonna get what's his name, we were gonna get Kunde from Sevilla. They saw that we had already sold Kodzuma. They changed their mind and said they're not going to sell it to the price that we had agreed. So things like that come into play. And now we're desperate too. We're desperate to solve an issue. They know we have a problem. They know we have so many problems, so many players out. But despite that, the truth remains, again, we did set a dangerous precedent under Roman Abramovich, if that makes any sort of sense to you. Ty, if you want to come in, go ahead. I think the main system is ready now. I'm gonna again come back with my camera on. It's shut down probably because I use it as a server for websites that I'm hosting. So probably again I should have restarted it quickly and switched it to the other server, but I didn't do that. That's where the problem is coming from. But that's, by the way, let me read this. I'll keep going until the system is fully ready. Coach, no matter how bad of a season we have, one day Chelsea will rise again. The one day actually is going to be one day in the coming year, and it may well be this year, but it all comes down to how strategic we are with our spending. If we're just throwing the money at players without signing players that will help us solve the problems we have immediately, then the one day will be like 3-4 years. But the one day can be, again, just a few days into the coming months or just a month or two. But we have to be strategic with our spending. This structure should have been done years ago, and that's why things seem so haphazard because a lot is being done at once. I think that's the truth. That's partly the truth. Plus, again, like I said, I'm not concerned about the long-term future of the club. We have a very good structure in place. If you look at it, the structure will make sure we get in the right place and not just to throw money at players. It will make sure we scout players. Talent we're bringing in will fit into the manager's preferred approach to the game. Things like that does go a long way. And I think, long-term future is set. We signed a lot of young players, Cassidy, name them, a few of them. But the immediate future is where I'm concerned. We have quite a lot of issues in the attacking area and the central attacking midfield area, in the right back area. Those issues need to be sorted out so that, again, that one day doesn't become next year. But again, a good contribution there. Look at, yes, people, please keep liking the stream. We have 99 likes. And again, like I said, it's looking like we're going to get 200 likes today, given the speed at which we're moving. We can actually get to 200 likes today, but only if you believe we can. So yes, keep liking the stream. And if you want also, there's a red heart there. You will see it on your screen. Keep tapping it. Use the emojis to show you like the stream. I think that will help us reach even more people. So I appreciate that. Again, in life, no limit, says Coach, your system is working out today. Seriously, guys, run up the likes, please. If you are new, do subscribe. I love you so much, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, you're having a little laugh at me. And but you ended up with a nice thing. Just quickly, let me ask you this question, why I try to, again, bring up my camera and everything on the main system. Hakeem, your thoughts again, are you concerned about the club's immediate future?
Like for me, I'm not concerned at all. Like
about the immediate future.
No, I'm not concerned at all. I feel like this is one of the few things that as a football club you have to face, and then you have to face. It happens to most teams, especially in England. The only team that I feel like it didn't happen to is Manchester City. But apart from Manchester City, every team in England have gone through this phase. This phase in their this phase in some sometime, like when you look at Arsenal, they went through this. Manchester United went through it. Tottenham, they went through it. Like Liverpool, they are going through it as we are speaking. Liverpool and us, like we are going through it. This is English Premier League. But when you went offline, I was saying this. I said it could be, blessing in disguise, because now we are facing this, it have showed us like where we are, our vulnerability. It have showed us where we are, where we have to improve, things that we have to improve in the club. So assuming if we are not facing this issue, we might think that everything is okay, and then we might fall, so harder than this. So this is like blessing in disguise. So now we know what we have to do wrong. We know what we have to do right. We know that we have to do these things like, there are some players that we have to let go, and so there are some players that we have to keep. Let's talk about the Zakaria issue. These injuries and these things that happen. Now everybody's saying let's keep him. Before, people weren't saying that. Jorginho, people are saying that he has to go. I also say he has to go. As people are saying he has to go. Players like now we know that some players, we cannot depend on some players like Kante. We cannot depend on some players like Reece James. Like we cannot depend. It's not like we cannot depend on their performance. Like they might like, it might be some time that they might not be available for us. So for me, I feel like this happens to us at the right time, and now we have the January transfer where we can fill in these spaces, and then next year also we can in the summer transfer we can go all in, and then I feel like we will come back and we will surprise people. And one thing about me, like, there is no way that Chelsea is playing football and then I will say Chelsea is going to lose. For me, my confidence is always going to be like, we are going to win, we are going to win, we are going to win. I'm not the kind of supporter that will be like, oh, I'm not confident. Well, even with the Manchester City, people were saying, correct me if I'm wrong, these same Chelsea supporters are blaming Graham Potter that he doesn't show any tenacity at the touchline. He doesn't show any.
But does he? He doesn't really. But go ahead.
Yeah. He doesn't, and I call him out for that. But these same Chelsea supporters will be like, oh, Chelsea, I'm not even sure that we are going to lose. We are going to win this match. We are going to lose. If we have a draw, it's a miracle. We are going to lose by 3. Come on, how could you be supporter and be blaming the coach for the same thing that you are doing? Even I think we are doing worse. Like, listen, let's not end up like Arsenal. Like Arsenal supporters, they always say a whole lot of things, insulting the team, saying, but I will never go and say, I will never give my prediction and say Chelsea is going to lose if we have this thing. If we have a draw, it's a miracle. For me, I'm always going to give my positive, if I was to predict a scoreline, I'm always going to be positive towards it. And then about the team immediate future, listen, there is no way that Tottenham, Arsenal, I'm not sure Arsenal can continue this consistently. There's no way that these teams will be over, we'll kick Chelsea out of the game, mama. We'll kick Chelsea out of the top 4 for, let's say. Yeah, for me, I feel like this season, I still have confidence that we can qualify to top 4. But if we don't, I'm not sure, next season we wouldn't be in top 4. And I also have feelings that we might even win the Champions League this season. Like, this is how my confidence is. You might say, yeah, I'm delusional or whatever, but this is how my confidence is. Like, I've seen Chelsea. I don't know. There was some year that we ended up at 6. The year that we won the Champions League, we ended up at 6, at the 6th position, and then we made it to the we won the Champions League under, was it Villas-Boas? Yeah, we won the Champions League. So for me, I have confidence that we can do something. We can do something this season. We are still in the Champions League. It's still an opportunity for us to win it if we can, because I don't see any team that I would say I don't see any team that I would say like this team is top there, like Bayern Munich. I'm not sure even if Bayern Munich could give Chelsea a run of their money this season. I'm not sure. Like teams like Barcelona are out. Like some teams, I'm not sure. Like if we meet some teams, these teams could give us run of our money. So for me, I still have some positive hope for Chelsea this season. But if you couldn't do that this season, then nobody can tell me that Arsenal or Tottenham or these teams will put Chelsea out of the top 4. No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are going through a hard season this year, but Chelsea, one thing that I know about this.
Yeah, I get your optimism, but it's really not looking good if we're being honest. Again, mathematically, it's still possible. It is still it is still very possible that we win. If you say even the league, there's still so much come left. But let's see what happens. If it happens, I'll take it. But it's very difficult, really. And more importantly, like I said before, if we end up not making it into top 4, it will be even tougher next year. Given again those guys that are there, again you can say they have the money now. The big boys, they are the big boys. We have again, what's his name? Newcastle. They have money and they will strengthen this January. So be rested. See how well they did even in the absence of Isaac, let alone when he comes back, even St. Maximus. So. And they play as a unit. Look at them. You could argue Arsenal's one of Arsenal's toughest game this season was against Newcastle. They struggled against Newcastle heavily, and it ended in a draw. But that's, by the way, we move on from that. Again, thank you, Liam Lane, for sharing this update with us. David, again, Chelsea Football Club has finalized the transfer of David Datro Fofana. Sorry?
I feel offended.
I think you... sorry, what did you say, Ty?
I feel offended.
By what? By what, Ty? Let me know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why you're saying that. Okay.
Liam Lane beat me 3 seconds. By 3 seconds.
Oh, by sending... It doesn't matter, bro. Yeah. Chelsea Football Club has finalized the transfer of David Datro Fofana from Molde FC. That's a Norwegian side. If you look at his numbers, it's exceptional. And like we argued the other day, his numbers, again, that's not the sort of talent you send out on loan. We need to keep him, but I think the club wants to keep him. The only issue will be, again, if he doesn't get a work permit, then there's a problem. But we heard rumors that he's already gotten his work permit. And then, by the way, the blue shirt looks good. It looks excellent on him, really. My friend, hi, Coachella Liam in Blues. Lolo, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. I see, again, if it could, we give the coach enough time to organize the team. We can get the best. Blue is a color, indeed. Blue is a color. And by the way, we're still world champions, really. How are you? I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking, and I hope you're doing it well, too. Thanks so much for joining. Abraham wasn't good under Tuchel. He had, again, like at least 2 games where he needed to be subbed off at halftime. Do I think he'll be good on the Graham Potter? I really don't think so. Except if Graham Potter decides to bring him in again, and just again, because he wants to, you could say, nurture an English talent. And I think he's gone beyond that age right now. I don't remember how old is he. His issue started under Frank Lampard, actually. I don't think he's a Graham Potter's type of striker, if you ask me. Plus, the buyout clause is ridiculous. Isn't it something close, buyback clause, so to speak? Isn't it something close to 80 million? And I wouldn't pay that for Tammy Abraham. If we do, believe me, remember I told you that it would be, again, you could say again, Romelu Lukaku 2.0, and I'm serious about that. As much as I think he's a traditional striker, he's a good footballer, but he is your typical traditional striker. He can do well under the likes of what's his name, Mourinho. He's under him right now. Who again comes to mind? Maybe David Moyes. Who again? I don't know who else I know that likes playing traditional strikers, really, for being honest. Question, how is the value of a player determined? So again, you don't end up overpaying for them. Wow, that's a $1 zillion question. I really don't understand why there's a price for most teams and twice the price for Chelsea. I think I've talked about that briefly. The prices, again, we're being quoted for, or the price we pay for players. We did set a dangerous precedent under Roman Abramovich, and I think that would change, but it will be gradual. And I think what the owners are doing right now, for instance, they don't bend over for anybody. Some people thought we were going to pay 70 million, something north of 70 million pounds for the defensive Fofana, we end up paying 60 plus a little bit more. And that's plus add-ons. Everything is 60, 65 plus or so. And in the case of Enzo, you see what's going on. We're not willing to bend over for anybody. I think it would change, but it would take time because people know us as Chelsea, so probably think that culture of just throw the money at the player still exists, and we'll be playing hardballs. But again, let's see what happens. Mudryk is not London or not. And that's a great point, TT, and how we dealt with certain players. He treated Tammy again in a despicable manner. Cho could never do right in his eye, and no young player developed under him. Fact, even though that's fact to a certain measure, I think his approach to dealing with young players, I actually like it. He wants to keep them working. He doesn't want you to feel like you've arrived, and that's the best way to treat again young players. Do I think he did Tommy Abraham dirty? To a certain extent, maybe. But if you know Titi, you'd know he doesn't like to have traditional strikers. And I'm going to say this, even though I've said it a billion times on this particular channel. Follow his time at what's the club he coached before he went to Dortmund? Mainz. From Mainz to Dortmund to PSG, he doesn't use traditional strikers. Aubameyang isn't your typical traditional striker because all his loss is just pace, but he's capable of dropping deep and participating in the play. At PSG, he had Mauro Icardi. He had the same country from Luis Suarez. He had two world-class strikers, yet he didn't use them that much. But that's, by the way, we'll move on from that, but I get your argument, brother. So right now, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom, and when the panelists are talking, I'm going to try to bring up the presentation images because I lost them when I had to reboot the system to come back on. Good day, boss. Again, seriously, we need to script the whole team, but you don't do that again at the go. It has to be a gradual process, really, if we're being honest. I get your argument. Yep, this one here, let's see. It says, I hope he shows up. While I wait for that to show up, because it's still a bit slow, though. Again, the poll, would you like Chelsea to sign Mudryk? 66% says yes, 34% says no, too expensive. And the other one says that yes, he is better than what we have. And it's a whopping 196 votes. And guess how many likes we have? 107 likes. So please, if you're watching, even if you're not participating in the chat, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. That will go a long way for the channel, people. Please, the likes do go a long way. Keep liking the stream. Let's get it up. That's, by the way, we move on. People don't seem to understand why Enzo, a player of his quality is important to us. We don't have any midfielders with vision or ability to find the pass or to even shoot from outside 18. Alongside DM, yes, 100% we need Enzo. We have midfielders, they try to shoot sometimes. Kovacic, when he shoots, in most cases, if he scores, it's a collector's item. But 99% of the time, he misses it. Jorginho, when he shoots, it's more like a back pass to the goalkeeper. But that's, by the way, I get it. Thomas Tuchel won UEFA without players outside. Again, he joined Chelsea. Excuse me for the cough, please. Sucking him again. It's hard to read, really. Sorry, apologies to you. I don't mean to skip your message. Alex Kasim, the boy again wants to be a Ghana. What's up again from that nightmare again, bro? Wake up from that nightmare. I guess that's what you wanted to type. Here's the thing: we've seen player who wanted to join one club and ended up joining the other. It has happened before, but I get your argument. This is me not saying Chelsea are the favorite. Right now, I say this. I'm going to be honest. Arsenal are the favorites, but never say never. Anything can happen. I get your argument. Maybe I'll wake up from the nightmare. We'll see. Please, how are you doing, my brother? I'm doing well. Nadute, Vasina Nadute, thank you so much for asking. I hope you're doing well too. Hi, Kachila. Happy New Year. Again, Happy New Year to you too, bro. I hope you're doing well. You and yours too. Please keep liking the stream. 112 likes. There you go. Let's beef it up. Let's try and get it to 200 likes by the time the show ends. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Anything else to read here? Have Chelsea signed Mudryk? Nope. I think Arsenal are the favorites, if I'm being honest, but we're really interested. And the club are saying they want to get, again, a reassurance from the players' camp that if we push for him, it wouldn't be a waste of time that he'd be willing to join us. So let's see what happens. Have Chelsea signed or no? I've read that one too. This one says, Gene Lowe, the problem with Chelsea is that, again, the lack of form and also losing games coupled with injuries has made other clubs see us desperate to get a replacement, and that has cost the price for players to go up. I think that makes perfect sense. So again, I appreciate you kindly saying that, and it's understandable. Fraser Dan Music, we need a good manager. Some people argue that should be the priority of the club. Again, but I get it. And Hakeem, thank you so much for still listening. That means a lot to me. I know you have to go take care of the baby. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you finding time to join. Yes, again, this is Ty Talks YouTube channel. The link to his channel. He has just he needs just eight more subscribers to get to 700 likes, subscribers, so to speak. And being honest, Ty should have at least 2,000 subscribers, given the quality of his content. And believe me, I'm not joking. Go check out his channel. That's the link there. Subscribe. Let him know I sent you. And believe me, you will thank me later. So coming back to the panel, congratulations to us. We got our man. It says again, okay, did I skip that one? Please give me update on Enzo's deal. You can say this it has stalled at this moment, but do I think it will happen? I think it will happen because Benfica most definitely wouldn't want to keep an unhappy player if really he's rebelling, as we're hearing. He's a professional. If you keep him, he will play. But again, I don't think he will be mentally there anymore. Something will change psychologically for him, and otherwise, if his mind is centered again, if he's bent on joining Chelsea, the best thing for the club would be, again, to find a solution. Otherwise, he's not going to renew. They're offering him a new deal to remain, and I don't think they will offer him anything close to what Chelsea will be offering him. And the truth remains, it is business for everybody involved. So again, we'll get to that in a bit. Let's talk about this one here. Sources again have told me that N'Golo Kante is now expected to extend, and it's close to reaching an agreement with Chelsea. Ty, I'm going to say the most surprising aspect of this N'Golo Kante's deal is that the fact that Al Nassr, they're interested, but like my friend Lawler said yesterday, they don't. Again, the Al Nassr move doesn't appeal to him, even though I know that would be a lot of money. That would be quite a lot of money for N'Golo Kante if he goes to Al Nassr. Quite a lot of money because he's younger than Cristiano Ronaldo, isn't he? Can you correct me if I'm wrong? Plus, again, he's still a good player, and he will make them champions again in a heartbeat. But I think Kante, again, he considers his family. He's one player that, again, first of all, he's an exemplary professional. Let's get that out of the way. It's one player, money isn't everything to him. Why do I say that? Again, I've read of a story where he was asked so that, again, some percentage of the money, if his salary goes to an offshore account so he can avoid taxes. And he said no. Ty, if you're still there, your thoughts on this deal in particular, if you're still there on this news. Okay, it looks like Ty isn't there, so I'll be rolling solo for a while. But don't worry, again, I enjoy doing that, which means I get to read quite a lot of your comments there. Let me see. I wanted to get something opened here. I'll be with you right away. All right, if you're watching, let me know again. Were you one of those that were asking for the club to sell Kante, that has gone past his prime? Again, he's no longer that player. To me, again, I've always thought if we can keep Kante and get just 20 to 25 games from him a season, that's good enough to help us win, again, trophies. But unfortunately, most people say he's done. Just let him go. I don't think that's the case. I think Kante is one heck of a player that even if you can get, again, 20 to 25 games from him, he'd help you win trophies. And if we're being honest, since Kante joined the Chelsea Football Club, again, check all the trophies we've won since then. There's hardly any of them that you would call and say, yeah, Kante wasn't pivotal to us getting to the final and winning it. He is that good. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't see it that way. A lot of people are into, again, use them if they're not producing, dump them. And I really don't like that. So I'm happy. And I have my brother Eddie in the house. Eddie, thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. I appreciate you doing that. Again, yeah, it's been an enjoyable stream, so I think you're gonna enjoy it too. How are you doing, bro?
I'm all right, bro. Big up, Kochi.
Big up to you too, and thanks so much for finding the time to join us. Again, were you one of those that were calling for the club to let Kante go? That is done, and that behavior from the fan base actually for me shocked me. You just put aside how much he's helped us achieved. Put aside the fact that again we were the reason why he's suffering, because he's been so important to us that again the slightest he recovers from any injury, we pull him back into the fold, and that hasn't helped. But your thoughts, the fact that again we're close again, he's close to signing a new contract at Chelsea Football Club. Your thoughts? Do you think it's a good deal, or do you think we should have let him live on a free?
If you remember, we were talking about this when we were discussing about him leaving or staying, and at the point I said, I don't see this board giving him what he was asking for. And based on that, I think he's reduced what he's actually asking for in terms of both the wages and the length of contract. If the reports we're hearing is anything to go by, so if he's accepting to do that, it's a good signing for us. I mean, we can't just have all youngsters coming into the club. We need balance of experience as well, and he's somebody that stands tall among the ones that we have because he's a good role model, on and off the pitch. Is somebody that the club cannot afford to do away with, So I think if he stays,
plus he can deliver too. But go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, but if he can stay, but the problem is injury. I think they said the contract is structured in a way based on performance and whatever it is. I don't know until we see the details of the contract. What they said is it has to do with maybe injury. They're taking into consideration the injury and all for him in the contract. I don't know what way it's going to be structured, but everything is looked in the contract so that if he sustains injuries again, maybe there's a way, maybe they have to reduce the wage paying that they'll be paying. But I mean, if we have a fit in N'Golo Kante, I mean, in that midfield, we cannot say no to a player of his quality, to be honest.
I'm really thinking since he's gone under the knife, there's a chance that they've corrected the issue permanently. Because it was repeating, then again, the last one happened, he decided to go under the knife. That's a chance again. He may have again solved the problem permanently. And again, if he comes back, we should learn to manage him, play him cautiously, not just again because his feet. Play him until he gets injured again. I think we should be careful how again. I don't know how to put it for it to make sense. I think those again, you could say Kante's problem. You could say we and the French national team, Deschamps specifically, are the reason why he's suffering because he's been so important to the French national team and to Chelsea Football Club. Again, I'm repeating myself that the slightest he recovers from any injury, we pull him back into the fold. But that's why we'll move on from the Kante story. I want to get your thoughts. The fact, what's going on again. Let me get your overall opinion from what you've seen out there. What do you think about the Mudryk situation? Because the fact that, again, it was rumored that the Shakhtar Donetsk president, or I don't know who exactly, the role of the person at Shakhtar Donetsk was going to be at the stadium to watch us play against Man City. It turns out it was true. That shows really that truly we're looking.
Hello?
Yeah, Eddie, sorry, I was asking you, I think it was from my end, the battery again ran down as I was trying to fix the system, I plugged it up. So the question I want to ask you, I'm sure, again, the fact, first of all, I said the fact that, again, Eddie isn't here anymore, I'll continue to what we have. If he comes on, I'll ask him the question again, I want to get his opinion. But let me say what I was saying before. Again, we've talked about Kante, and I'm sure you heard everything I said about N'Golo Kante. He's one player I'm happy if he ends up extending and stays at the club. That makes me very happy because if you look at all the things we've won since N'Golo Kante joined us, there's hardly none of them. Again, you will look at and say Kante wasn't pivotal to us winning that. So yeah, we've talked about that. Now I'm moving to again, and I said keeping Kante makes sense. If he's one player that if you can get at least again 25 to 30 games, even 20 games from him, he's a big game player. He can help you beat the big guys. He can help you win the most difficult matches. So I'm glad we're keeping him. And plus, he's gone under the knife, and there's a chance him going under the knife has solved the problem once and for all. But we will find out this time. So Eddie, if you're there, the question I was asking you was again, I'm sure you're reading everything again, all the stuff out there regarding Chelsea's interest in Mudryk. And I said again, it was more of a rumor to me until before our game against Man City. We heard that the Shakhtar Donetsk, not president or I'm not sure the role of that person at Shakhtar, will be at the stadium to watch us play Man City. And that turned out to be true. So to me, that's a sign. Now, your thoughts on everything, again, that's out there regarding Chelsea's pursuit of Mudryk. And is he a player you would want to see at Chelsea? For me, yes, he's most definitely better than what we have. And quickly before Eddie speaks, we have 243 votes in the poll. And then we have just 119 like people. We should be doing better than 119 like. So if you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream. Even if you're watching and you can't participate in the chat, please take a second to drop a like on the stream. It does go along with. So Eddie, you go ahead.
Yeah, we were talking about it, and I actually said the last time we were talking about it because I read the report that one of the directors will be attending the game at Stamford Bridge, and it actually
turned out to be true.
Yeah, it turned out to be true. So, which means, and then from the report we're hearing, the player has also softened his stance. I mean, his stance has changed about only wanting Arsenal. I think it turned out now the report is saying he doesn't mind playing for either Chelsea or Arsenal. So as far as I'm concerned,
so which means it all comes down to whatever again the club that reaches an agreement again with Shakhtar, he'd be willing to join the club. But go ahead.
Exactly, and the report I read was that Todd Bowley is saying they won't put in a bid until they get an clear assurance that he's ready to, if they put in a bid, that is ready to talk to Chelsea. I think they don't want a repeat of what happened with Rafinha. They don't want that to play out again, where we actually put in a bid and it was accepted and the player actually turned us down. So
he's a quick learner.
Exactly. So now, if this player is saying that he can actually listen to Chelsea, and I think Chelsea will be able to outbid Arsenal, I think we should be able to do better than what Arsenal will be offering because, and as we said before, we agreed that this is not the first time we've been linked to this player. We were linked to him in the summer during the transfer window because I remember watching his clip as well.
Before Arsenal even started looking at him.
Exactly. Before Arsenal came into the picture, we were linked with the player. So it's not as if we're just only jumping into it now because Arsenal are interested. I don't know. We've been monitoring this player, and I think if we can pull this, if we can get it over the line, I think it's a very good signing for us. It's a huge, huge upgrade to what we have in the club. So I look forward to it. And then based on what the report the boy is saying, I think he's ready to listen to Chelsea. So he's not left for proper assurance to go to Todd Bowley, and then they put in a bid, and then he listens to which one will give him the better offer. So, and I think it should be Chelsea.
Yeah. Again, Arsenal don't pay premium. That's known. But that's by the way. We'll move on. We've talked about this one. Some other topics again might system shut down, so we missed a few. Chelsea have confirmed the signing of David Datro Fofana on a 6.5-year deal. With the option for an extra year. That's an excellent news. The question is he going to get the work permit to remain again and help us achieving again, help the team because that's very important. I don't know again the rules again as to whether he'd be able to get one or not, but he's one player I want to keep. And if you looked at his numbers, this is not the sort of talent you send out on loan. I don't know if you've seen his output this particular season, AD. Okay, just 1 second. I'm going to try to get the Datro Fofana statistics so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Why I argue Datro Fofana is not the sort of talent we should consider sending out on loan. It would be a huge mistake. He's an exceptional talent. I want to show you his numbers hopefully I'll be able to see that. And just quickly, give me 1 second here. I'll come up with that. I think it was Merlin that shared it with me, so I have to find it within our communication. It's quite a lot, really. Oh my gosh, I hope I find it. I really want that one. Just quickly, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, it looks like it's going to take quite a lot of time to find, a lot of scrolling there, but I hope I'll be able to see it. But I wanted to share his numbers with us, his overall numbers. He's an excellent player. He has, again, an attacking player, number 9, who scored how many goals? I think how many goals in just 50? Again, 10 goals in 15 matches. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is difficult to find now because we've exchanged quite a lot of messages. So I'm going to try to find it. When I find it, I'll share his numbers. But he's one player I wouldn't want the club to send out on loan. But that's, by the way, we'll move on to other topics. I'm glad, again, we've finalized that. Just, by the way, let me see what we have here in the chat. No, again, maybe next season. Again, Chelsea has no hope this season. No hope of doing what? I really want to know what you're referring to. You have to be specific, so I understand what you're trying to say.
Sorry, Coach. The stats that I saw here in 2022 in the league, in 24 matches, he scored 15 goals, 3 assists, and in the Europa League, in 3 matches, he scored 1 goal. So I say in 2020, 2021, 22, in about 27 matches or thereabout, he scored about 16 goals.
Yeah, his output this season is excellent. Plus, again, an attacking, again, a number 9, creating 22 chances and completing 52 take-ons. This season alone, in just 15 matches, I think he's played this season. That's not the talent you send out on loan. And like I've argued, even though I'm concerned when I heard that PSV are looking to take that Fofana on loan, I was, again, concerned because I was saying what's going on. But then I had to pay attention, realizing that, again, if he doesn't get work permit, it's a problem. And the club would have, again, no option than to send him out on loan. But Eddie, do you think he gets work permit? I don't know the rules quite well, and I've asked questions. Nobody is sure as to whether he gets work permit.
I don't know the exact rule about work permit, but the little I know, they said, like the one for Andre Santos, they're saying he might fall under the rule of exceptional player. If the player is exceptionally good, they give him a waiver for Andre Santos. That's the one I heard. But this guy has made some appearances for Ivory Coast. So I think there's a certain number of...
for Africans, it has to be some certain percentage, but do you think it's played enough for them to meet that threshold?
From what I saw here, he's made only 3 appearances.
Which clearly, if we're going by the old rule, they say the rules have changed, according to Bobby. If we're going by the old rules, which means, again, I don't think that's enough if we're going by the old rule, really, but go ahead.
Yeah, hopefully, I mean, if he can get his work permit, there's no point sending him out on loan. And I have a feeling Drogba might have an input in this signing, to be honest. I think Drogba will have an input in this signing.
Possibly. Isn't he still an ambassador for the club?
He is, yes. So this guy's got the physicality. I mean, Premier League, he's got the physique and all to cope the Premier League. So I don't see any reason why we should send him out on loan, to be honest. And if we're looking to say, because Chelsea's been linked now to Marcus Thuram, so he's quite like the kind of similar build, you know. So I don't know what's going to happen there. If Chelsea, maybe they're just thinking
Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe they're looking at if they cannot secure him to get a work permit for him. Maybe they go for Marcus Thuram and don't bring him and send this lad on loan. But if we can get this guy a work permit, I don't think there's any need sending him out on loan. And I don't know, because they're saying Marcus Thuram can operate from the flank, can operate from the left side or the right side, cutting in and all. So I don't know. There are many things.
They're very similar in terms of pace. Again, no need comparing them, but go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, so that's just my feeling. I think if we can get work permit, it's better we keep it.
Yeah, it makes sense. If we can get work permit, it's better we keep him. It wouldn't make any sort of sense to let him go out on loan when we still have Amanda Broya injured. So good suggestion right there. Let's see what we have again. We need a good and quality coach. You cannot compare TT and Potter. I'm not going to go into comparing them because straight away you will fall short because TT has, again, the trophies to show for it. But here's the thing, as much as I think, we should, again, I have my reservations regarding the manager. I think we should really give him time. And again, it doesn't matter what we think about him, the owners will still give him the time they think he needs to do well. We could argue, again, from now to the next month, it doesn't change anything. If at the end, again, if he ends up turning things around, again, and the team starts doing well, make it into top 4, it changes out a lot. The only thing that would lead to them letting him go is if the team starts underperforming consistently, then they will have no option than to let him go because it is business after all, and bad performances don't attract big name sponsors, which is very important. So I'm going to catch up with a lot of stuff we have in the chat. It's Saturday. We can go as long as we want, but not forever, though. Let me see what we have. Please, again, I like you. Again, I would love to work with you one day. Vecino and Adute, again, thank you so much for saying that. You can reach out via Twitter so we can talk. If you want to get on the panel, feel free. I'd really appreciate that if you can do that. You had anything to say?
That is step away for family reasons.
Oh, that's understandable. No problem. Again, you're sounding like you have anything to say. Let me try and catch up with what we have in the chat. Thomas, again, come to rescue Chelsea, and you just wake up one day and sack him. Again, I still haven't gotten over it, but again, I don't know. There's more to it than we know. Hopefully he writes a biography, and we got to learn what really happened. If you're watching, I don't know how we'd have 261 votes and we'll have just 127 likes. It doesn't make any sort of sense. If you took a second to participate in the poll, please, it takes just half a second to also, again, to drop a like on the stream. Please do that. The likes do go along with. So thank you so much. I sincerely do appreciate that. Let's see where we're at right now. Just 1 second. Let me see. Here it says, do you agree again if Paulo Bento can be a good coach for Chelsea? I don't know him, really. I have to be honest. Ndubisi, thank you. Mane, thank you, and welcome to the show. I appreciate your contributions there. Henok Tequibo, I don't know him really, but I'll research him since you've mentioned him. Paulo Bento, previous Lisbon Sports Club. Okay, I don't know him that much really. I don't know him at all, I have to be honest. Ngolo signing a new 2-year contract with the reduced wage is a good thing for Chelsea right now. Do you think it is with a reduced wage? I think that's, again, part of the structure we're hearing. If he stays fit, then he gets to earn certain amount. If not, again, he reduces. I'm not sure the structure of the contract. If I'm being honest, he said, again, he wants Arsenal. Show me where he said that. And I've talked about, here again, I'm going to explain this again. I read something. I did a little bit of digging and found where, I'm sure you're talking about Mudryk. And after this, a bit of some stuff, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom so that whatever we're reading is aligned with the current topic, where he was interviewed. Again, the writer says, again, by Zinchenko's wife, and asked what club he'd like to sign. And then somehow Real Madrid came into the conversation, and his response was that, again, if he had to go, he has to go to Real Madrid and sit on the bench, he'd rather go to Arsenal, something to the effect of that. But I want to see where he specifically says he wants to join Arsenal. But that's, by the way, if Kante agrees to sign a 2+1 year deal, which reduced wages, then again, it's fine. Again, no player is too expensive when we want to build a team like, Galacticos. Maybe, but sometimes, you overspend, you get into trouble with the FFP rules. Mudryk is true. Come to Chelsea. Let's see if Kante agrees. How many times did I see this? You just repeating it there. But I get it. My darling team must acquire Mudryk now for his ability to hold the ball, dribble, again, beat his opponent. Wahid Akinyade, my Niger brother, thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. No sound. Okay, that was then. So I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Apologies, guys. But I have to say hello to CFCO. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Please make sure to go check out his channel. I think he will get to share the link to his channel. Please, if he does, go check it out and let him know I sent you. Dennis Juma, I would prefer that Chelsea go for Dennis Zakaria instead of go for he's with us. Just keep him. That's all I want to say. Any other midfielder who hasn't yet tried playing in the Premier League, Zakaria was just, again, every time we've given him the opportunity, he's taking them. And again, showing us it would be a bargain if we pay £28 million for him. Hopefully, again, the owners are paying attention and realize what a player we have there. Chelsea don't have a clear transfer policy. They just see something nice and they jump into it. That's a lie. That has changed. That was under the Roman era, which was where we set the dangerous precedent of being the club with the money and we're always willing to pay the money. That would change, but it would be gradual because that precedent is there to be dealt with. We have to navigate that and find a way to, again, maybe cancel it or deal with it, and so people don't see it as a cash machine. Mudryk is perfect for Chelsea. Wahid, I agree with you, but Arsenal again has the upper hand right now, given multiple reasons. Zinchenko being his countryman, and they both have a good relationship. Plus, he'd already agreed personal time with Arsenal. Plus, again, like they say he wants Arsenal, but I want to see that. But he's also said he will be equally happy to join Chelsea, which means it comes down to who pays the money to Shakhtar Donetsk. Love Kante so much. I do love him too. Potter too will do more damage than he has already done at Chelsea. Why can't we go for an ambitious manager who knows what he and the club? Let's see. But good argument right there, Dennis Juma. Kante will stay. Yeah, you're one of those that assured me that he's going to stay because you saw that I was concerned. But I hope he stays. Let's stop mixing up the topics here. I'm going to bring out Kante since we're talking about Kante right now. It reminds me of Willian Hijack against some club and not London club. Okay, yeah, exactly. It makes sense. So Willian had already, I think it was, again, wasn't he at Sports for Medical or so? I don't remember the story. Big up, guys. Smash the like button. We'll join the panel if we're still running for 45 minutes time. I think we should be. And again, we have 134 likes. Let's shoot for 200 likes. That is very possible. And this is how I know it is very possible because we have 273 participants in the vote. So I'm going to shut down the poll right now because I want to again, I want to put up another poll in a bit. 63% says yes, he is better than what we have, and 37% said no, too expensive, and that's good enough sample. 274 votes. So I'm going to end that one right now. Let's see what we have. Yes, people, keep liking the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Since the guy is ready to listen to Chelsea, let's go all out immediately to bring him in. And again, the club haven't said, we want reassurance that he comes to us. And we don't want to go waste our time there and he ends up not coming to us. Please, let's stop flip-flopping with the topic. Let's stick with one. But again, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom right now. Let's see what we have. The guy doesn't like Chelsea. Is that what you think? But let's see. Again, yes, we can do it. Please help Chelsea. I love it. Again, so much. Thank you so much. Jackson Smith, I appreciate that. We can get it to 200 likes. We're at 135 likes right now, so thank you, guys. Big up. The only way Potter gets sacked if he gets 0 wins in the next 7-8 games. It may well happen. Let's see what happened. And the Mykhailo, it's not that simple. CFC Hakeem, Mudryk is a waste of money. We need Enzo. We can get Leao instead of Mudryk for a bit more. Here's the thing, in the case of Leao, don't you think that the reason we've upped our interest in Mudryk was because, again, Leao, as we're hearing, that he's on the verge of signing a new contract at AC Milan. So that, again, effectively kills off our interest, whether we like it or not, because the new buyout clause would be something ridiculous. If we're being honest here, Lady Green, my Niger brother, hello and compliment of the season. Why can't we sign Osimhen from Napoli? I think every time my Nigerian brothers come on here, they start preaching about Osimhen. Osimhen is a fine player, especially again under Thomas Tuchel when we're calling for the club to go for him. I argued that he's not Thomas Tuchel type of player, as much as he's a good attacker. But if Mourinho gets him, he can achieve, again, move mountains with him. Even Potter, I don't trust Potter, again, him coming under Potter, because, again, I'm a Nigerian force, again, and let me say, before I move to America and become a citizen here, but that's, by the way, as much as I'd like him to come to Chelsea, I don't think he'd work well under Graham Potter, really. Graham Potter doesn't differ that much from Thomas Tuchel. I want the brother to go again, work on that Jose Mourinho. Maybe at Manchester United under Eric Ten Hag, he again excel. But at Chelsea right now, remember, Graham Potter doesn't differ that much. He doesn't differ too much from Thomas Tuchel, for being honest. Big up, guys, and thank you too, brother. Thank you for finding the time to join the show. Yes, again, Roman back. Todd Bowley is clueless. Roman will never come back again. If it does, I'll take it, but it's never going to happen. And I think we need, again, a structure such as having a group of people as the owner of the club. That way, whatever happens, we don't get sanctioned by any government, or again, threaten our club that if this doesn't happen, you can put a hold to all our sorts of incomes and all that. And that was heartbreaking, really. As much as I'd like Roman to come, but for the sole reason of having a structure where we don't go through what we went through, then I don't want it to happen. Doing a Boxing Day again stream tonight. Okay, good job. Again, here's the link to his channel. Go check it out. Be sure to subscribe. He covers, again, all the sports, not just football too, like as you can see there. Yes, guys, please keep liking the stream. We're at 137 likes, but we should be doing better than that. Coach, why can't you talk together with Fabrizio Romano on transfers instead again on news on Mudryk connection? No, I usually don't do that. I'm very cautious as to who I ask questions. Again, and I don't, again, before he responds to you will be like the next 40 years. Havertz is very selfish, really. I think, again, Ghana, Charleston, I think he's actually the least selfish in the team. If we're being honest, man, we'll move on to the next topic that we have lined up. There are other topics that are, again, updates that we're going to look at in a bit. But everything closed out when I had to shut down the main system to fix the issue we're having. This says, again, as reported earlier this morning, Enzo Fernandez is confirmed to not start for Benfica. This is their lineup here. He's not there. And it looks like, again, like the manager earlier confirmed, he wasn't actually going to be even on the bench. To me, as much as, again, they're trying, Benfica is trying to get as much money they want from us, the signs are, I think they've come to, again, to terms that with the fact that Enzo will end up leaving the club.
What I'm seeing.
Go ahead, Ty.
Sorry, coach.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Ty. You're not talking.
Is that tweet?
That's the lineup. The lineup.
Yeah,
we heard yesterday that
there's a tweet from today. The Chelsea transfer.
20 hours ago. Yeah. Again, I can check their lineup if the match is today. What time is it starting? Let me check with the app I have here. Again, even the manager said he wasn't going to start.
Yesterday, they won 1-0.
Oh, was that okay? So this was yesterday, right? Let me see this tweet.
No, I'm saying if the Chelsea.
Yeah, you're correct. It was yesterday, so no need. We'll move on from that one. We've taken care of this one. If you're in the chat, if you have any question, please ask, and we will try to tackle it. So yeah, Ty, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I didn't know the match had been played already because I heard a lot of the arguments and all that. But again, the question I want to ask, I think it's still relevant. He was dropped. He wasn't even on the bench like the manager talked earlier, even before the game day proper. AD, the question I want to ask, to me, everything that's happening shows I think they've come to terms that he's going to leave. Because if he's rebelling, ostracizing him, I don't know if for lack of a better term, or maybe keeping him out of the team doesn't help. Rather, it makes him, he will feel vilified, actually. I mean, and may, again, be willing to leave the club even more. So, AD, your thoughts? Go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not really good enough to have an unhappy player, like, but we don't know the system they operate over there because they've always gotten the price they ask for players. It's always been their style, Benfica. And then if they are angry about the way they said Chelsea accepted verbally to pay the buyout clause, and then they reneged. I mean, they could still be angry about that. But if the player now, because it's now down to the player is pushing hard. I think he's told them that he wants to go to Chelsea. So they will have to bend in a way. There's no way. One, the player has told them clearly, because if the player was getting on with his play, not saying anything, then if Chelsea was doing the negotiation without the player pushing, it would be difficult for the club to do anything about it. But now, I think the player is on the side of Chelsea. He's told them he's only Chelsea he wants to go to, and he's ready to go to Chelsea, and he's accepted personal terms with Chelsea. But I don't know if if Chelsea has broken any rules about talking to the player based on the fact that they accepted the verbal price for him and then reneging. I don't know if there's anything, because I was reading something like it wasn't clear enough, saying that Chelsea might be in trouble for accepting and then giving them the permission to talk to the player about accepting personal terms. So we don't know what's going to happen. But the player is clearly determined to join Chelsea, and it's this month. He wants that to happen. So I don't see them keeping an unhappy player, because clearly he's not happy to be there. He wants to move. His heart is turned,
I don't know, man, honestly.
Sorry, Ty, you don't think it's a risk? To me, it's a huge risk, them trying to keep him. Again, he's refused to accept the new offer they have for him.
I don't think he's bent on leaving us.
Then the whole issue we're hearing that have led to the club keeping him out of the team, where's it coming from? If he's told them he want to leave, you could say he's bent on leaving, really, given all the things we're seeing. But here's the thing, but that's, by the way, my main argument is this: it's a risk if they try to keep him. In the sense he leaves for a cheaper price in the summer, and he's refused to accept the new offer they have for him. To me, I'd be concerned. I wouldn't take such risk, really. If a player starts behaving in any way that's suspicious to me, that I think they're trying to push for a move, I'll let them go. It's as simple as that. And that's the type of thing you see from, again, Pep Guardiola. It's a risk. Mentally and otherwise, I think he wouldn't be there. As much as, you argue he's a professional, will always play, but that will, again, that will affect him for a long time. Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, isn't it a risk when a player wants to leave and you're trying to keep them against their wish? It's a serious risk for me.
Yeah, it's a huge risk. And considering this lad has only been there 6 months, so he has no loyalty. He has no long-term attachment to the club. You get the angle I'm coming from? If he was a player that's been there for 2 years, 3 years, then the loyalty and the attachment will be there with the fans and all. I mean, he's only there for half a season. So he can as well just decide to boycott everything. It doesn't affect him. He thinks he's moving to a bigger club. So for only being there 6 months, I mean, he's the darling of the fan because of his performance so far. But I mean, from the angle I'm trying to talk now, if he was a player that's been there for 2 years, exactly, he'll be looking at, I've been here, I don't want to rock the boat. If you understand what I'm trying to say. I don't want to do this because the fans have been loyal. I've been here 2 years. But he's only there for 6 months. So his loyalty is not that it's not casting high on, say, I have to be here and I don't have to say, don't let me disappoint the fans. Like someone like N'Golo Kante trying to move from Chelsea. He wouldn't behave the way he would say we wouldn't play again for Chelsea, he would boycott training, There's this attachment with the fans, the likeness, or the fans love him. And even like the likes of Pulisic, except some of them, they've been here for more than a year, 2 years. So the attachment is quite there, but this one is only 6 months. So if the club wants to keep an unhappy player, then it's up to them to do that. But I think, it might affect his performance, because even the last game he played for them, which I think they said he wasn't supposed to play, they lost 3-0, and it wasn't up to his best on the day. So if they keep playing him and his performance drops, then his value definitely will drop.
Yeah, so Ty, I want to understand. Were you trying? I thought you were saying something like, again, it's not a risk for them to try to keep him. And like Eddie explained, he's shown that he isn't loyal to the club. If anything, to me, it's clear now he's just using them as a stepping stone. He's just joined them 6 months ago. For him to have asked to have said he wants to join Chelsea in the first place, again, it shows again he using them as a stepping stone. But Ty, go ahead. I want to get what you were saying.
I was saying that part about he's been loyal to them, if I'm being honest. I mean, well, um, yeah, it's 6 months. I think they signed him in July or something around those lines for 10 million or something close to that figure. I think
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's much of a risk for them to keep him because I mean he hasn't really been rebelling. He hasn't been rebellious. He's been going to the matches still. He's posting things on Instagram and showing them support because they won their game and everything. So I haven't really seen a perspective of somebody rebelling. So I'm not sure if it's a case where he will um be unhappy if he doesn't get the move. He wants to come to the Premier League. I'm not sure if it's just Chelsea, but he wants to play in the Premier League, which I don't blame him. I mean, it's one of the best leagues in terms of giving players the opportunity to be recognized. So I guess I can understand that. I don't think it's a big risk for them to keep him. I don't think it's something they should do, but I don't think he will be extremely unhappy if he ends up staying. I think he may be disappointed, but I don't think it will be a big risk because he's not rebelling and it's not like he's pushing for it and putting a transfer request or something. It's not like that. So I think they can still keep him, and I think they've already discussed the fact that if the release clause isn't paid or something close to it, he's not leaving,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd have to go back to trying to negotiate with them. But I personally want it to be done this month because there'll be more competition for him in the summer, where it will be easier for
And that's why we're pushing.
I don't
And
think we're
isn't that
pushing.
why we're pushing?
I don't think we're pushing. If we're pushing, we will not be trying to lowball the club and disrespecting them. I don't think we're pushing. Pushing for a player means that you don't do something that you know the club will reject. It's foolish. Do you think they're gonna accept a 40 million decline of what you verbally agreed to say or something close to that or 20 million? I don't think so. I don't think what they did was sensible because you can't say you're gonna do this and then when the time comes for you to pay up, you're gonna be offering less. It's stupid. It's not like Enzo put in a transfer request, so you have to sell him for cheaper because he's pushing for the move.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
let me rephrase my statement. I think you made a good argument there. If he's bent on leaving, he'd put in a transfer request. So it would
Yeah.
be wrong to say he's bent on leaving. So if anything, AD makes the most sensible again contribution there by saying again talking about loyalty. He's been there just 6 months, and for him to even tell them he wants to join Chelsea, join us again, to me it just seems as if he's using them as a stepping stone. But go ahead with what you were saying, Ty.
Yes, I mean I would not be surprised. I mean he's been recognized even more after his World Cup performances and
Oh
obviously
yeah, and we're paying for, and that's part of the price we're being quoted.
yeah. So I think because of that, he's gonna definitely say, okay, I've already I've already done something. I've been successful with my country at such a young age in terms of being a footballer. So
Mhm.
I guess I can move on. I mean, it's nothing surprising that we've seen that happen before, where players leave after 6 months. It's just odd because they literally just signed him for 10 million, and they could possibly get close to 10 times more than they spent for him, which is why for me, I understand why they want the release clause or something close to it. But for me, just accept the 85 million or something along those lines. I'm a Chelsea fan, so I'm gonna want them to do that. You're gonna get a profit. But I made this point before. They will want as much as possible because River Plate has to get 20 to 25% of the fee because of sell-on
Mhm.
clause. So I guess they want as much as possible for themselves. And rather, if they had accepted the 75 million or something close to that in pounds, it would have been potentially close to 40 million only for them. So it wouldn't be logical. But I just think that if Chelsea really are pushing for him, they would make a bid that would force Benfica to consider it rather than going with a bid that they know that the president himself and even the coach has said it has to be closer or it has to be the release clause. So I don't know. I think we did foolishness, and I think we definitely need a sporting director because our negotiating skills at the moment, it doesn't look as if it's effective.
Yeah, again, let's see what happens. We'll continue to follow the story and have my update screen open. I'll share some updates in a bit.
But
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but if what Tig is saying, if the negotiating skill there, I don't see what the negotiating skill is there, because if a player who they said they apparently did not allow to go on the journey before Christmas, New Year Eve, and he flew to Argentina to join his family, and the report we're hearing from Argentina is that the family actually wants him to make the move. The family are in support of him making the move. You know, so if they want him to make the move, he's made up his mind to make the move.
No,
he went away.
It's simple. It's more money for the player. But go ahead.
Yeah. So if they say the club initially said, okay, and in all this, let us remember that it's Benfica and the reports we're hearing from the other side saying Chelsea accepted to pay the release clause. Chelsea hasn't said anything. So it's only one side we're hearing now about them saying, oh, they accepted verbally. If somebody accepted verbally, then I don't see how the level of, Todd Bowley and all, if you've accepted verbally, you'll still be on the table that, okay, yes, we agree we accepted verbally, but can we not actually negotiate? Because they've seen clearly that this player has shown interest to come to you. So on that basis, you cannot say, okay, because I've accepted the buyout clause or the release clause, I still have to stand on that. No, it's good. Let us try. They're chancing their hand like, okay, what if they say, oh, release clause, and they end up paying less? I mean, it's good for the club and for the FFP, for the club, and they have other signings to make. Look at the rate at which we're having players injured. So they must have factored all this. If we pay this release clause, it's going to impact on our sign. And the reports are just coming. We're coming then that Chelsea were ready to pay higher than the release clause and to structure the payment in a way that they will spread it over a certain number of years. Now Benfica is saying, no, they have to pay the release clause or nothing. And Chelsea wouldn't go in for that if they want the release clause or nothing. So there is always room for negotiation. So if they want us to negotiate, they have to accept. This player, you bought him for only 10 million 6 months ago. Even if you're selling it for 80 million, it's still huge profit. No matter what River Plate are getting, it's still profit for them. And the player who has only been there 6 months and has told you clearly he wants to leave. So it could only, it's happened before in transfers that when the player is not happy, it depends on the character of the player, on the way he handles it. Some players just go south the moment they don't allow him to go. Not all of them can handle the performance. Like, see Declan Rice. Declan Rice he gets on with his job. He's not impacted on his performance, even though he's been linked every window to move, and it's not moved still. He still just kept playing. But there are some players, if you look at, I can't remember, there's one player that keeps coming back, forgotten now. When he was linked with transfer, they refused to allow him go. His performance just went south. So it can happen. They will know that if this player ends up not playing to the level that we want, obviously you cannot now have the bargaining power to say you still want the release clause because his performance has dipped. So it's in between for them. It's catch-22 situation for them because it's either they try to negotiate and let this player leave, and on the part of the player, I can say, based on reports I'm hearing, he's pushing to leave. That's why he was left out of the squad and completely yesterday.
He probably hasn't put in a transfer request out of respect for the club.
Out of respect. But I'm telling you, if he gets to that, because he's only been there 6 months, he won't shy away from putting in the transfer request. If he gets to that, he has advisors as well. They'll tell him the best way to go about it. So if he gets to that point,
go ahead when you're done.
Because we are only new, the transfer window is only just opened. When a player tries to put in transfer request, is when you're getting to the tail end of the transfer window and it seems nothing is happening. Then they force it to move. They can't force the move now. It's only early in the transfer window.
Honestly, I
think the argument makes sense. Again, and here's the thing, and Ty, thank you for saying that. So, but it wouldn't be wise to say he's pushing for the move now. The only thing, let's just phrase it mildly, he wants to join Chelsea. and he's told the club. So that makes sense. But Ty, go ahead with what you were saying so I can catch up with what we have in the chat.
I wanted to say that this talk of FFP this and FFP that, I don't think that should be a problem.
Mhm.
The only way FFP will get involved is if we're spending at a rate where it starts to look like we're going above the regulations. There's simple ways to avoid doing that, and that is by allowing certain players to leave that look disinterested in the club and they don't look like they want to be here. That will level out the book, so you won't be that the cash flow is this and you're spending more than you're selling. It won't be like that.
Mhm.
We could potentially get 40 million alone from selling particular two players. That if you, and especially if this whole talk of Mudryk is true, you're going to need to make space for him, because you already have these young players as well in the squad. So you're gonna have to either loan those players out so that you can make space, or you have to sell somebody or allow somebody to leave. I think I don't think the FFP thing is valid, because it's not something we're gonna be doing and we cannot sell players. That's not how it works. You can sell
Here's
some
where that
players.
comes in. But go ahead. I'll let you drop. Go ahead.
You can sell some players, and then after that it takes us out, and then after that, if you want to push for other players, you can do that and also continue to sell players. I don't really think the FFP factor is in it, because I mean, you can sell players, and I mean, if we did it for Nkunku in terms of paying over the amount that RB Leipzig was saying was the way to get him out, or the buyout clause, and we went over it. Surely you can do the same for Enzo if you want him, and also sell players or find ways to balance the book and let it not be spending more and not selling.
Yeah, here's where FFP comes in. If we pay in bulk, it might not happen immediately, but that reduces how much you'll be able to spend in the summer, given it will be within the same year. So that's why we're being cautious, trying to find, again, a payment structure that, again, if we pay after each payment, would have time to balance the books before spending that much. But again, it's something, again, it needs a bit more research for more people to understand that quite well. I think we still have to spend wisely, otherwise we'll get into trouble, because we spent quite a lot already before paying attention to how much we spent. But that's why, by the way, if I was Enzo, I would feel let down. He pushed for the move and we couldn't get the deal done. It's not over yet. I think
it's life.
Yeah, it's not over yet. I know he will feel the same, but it's not over yet. There's a chance whatever that's happening, we're part of that plan, him behaving the way he's behaving. That is, if he's really behaving badly, we don't know. We don't know. Again, after all, there were rumors that he was rebelling, and then we heard before he traveled to Argentina, he asked for permission and he got it. So we just have to, again, be cautious as to what we believe out there. But I still think it will happen. But let's see what happens. Can he have an interview with Fabrizio Romano? Who exactly are you talking about? I'm not sure. Enzo should train alone at Benfica. Probably that will happen if again the saga continues. It's time the board should have a meeting that release some few players to go so that Chelsea start a new plan. Here's the thing: it's not that simple. You're releasing players; it's not that simple. What club wants them? If you talk about the loan system, there's a limit to how many players you can loan out now. For instance, again, there was a time we wanted to sell. What's the English international who plays in France right now? Ross Barkley again, but no bias, because some of them are on a very high salary. Actually, that makes it difficult. You could argue the reason what's his name hasn't left the club. The reason Hakim Ziyech haven't left the club is because of the salary he's on. That makes it even more difficult. The clubs that are coming for them wants them to take a pay cut, and some of them don't want to. Please, again, give me an update on Enzo. Nothing yet. Again, we're still saying all we're hearing is that talks are still ongoing from some reports. Some say everything has stalled. So we're not sure what to tell you is the correct, accurate report in there. But one thing is sure, I think we'll still get them. We're just 7 days into the window, so nothing is late yet. Felix, do you have us? I should improve. He should stop being selfish. Again, please pay attention to the particular topic we're discussing. It can be exhausting to switch from one topic to the other. But if the whole topics are aligned, believe me, I wouldn't mind reading it for, again, the whole day to stretch, again, and not have a problem. So, but that's, that's, by the way, Porter is yes. Okay, Aldi Moha, I'm not sure what you mean by that. I think we need a creative players like James Ward-Prowse, really, of certain Olmo maybe. And I heard we reached out to Olmo's camp. That's the recent report. Let's see what happens. Madison, sorry? Yeah, I'll Leipzig. Yeah, the Spanish international. Again, all these players, let's see, I don't know all of them. Again, the big problem with the price for Enzo is the amount that has to go to River Plate. Wow, I didn't know that was the issue.
That's what I was trying to say, though.
Yeah, you talked about it. I didn't know that was serious, really, because they want more money so that even after paying River Plate, they still have a lot.
They're gonna get
That's greed, really.
It's foolish, but they just want a specific amount for themselves. That's the thing, because River Plate's amount is not going to let them have a loss. They're gonna get slightly over it, even if the fee was small. But I think that it's a case where they just want as much as possible, so that it's still close to 100 million or close to 80 million, depending on what currency you use to say that's the conversion.
Yeah, I'm going to scroll again to the very bottom. Apologies if I will scroll past quite a lot of comments there. But again, apologies in advance. I have to get at some of the topics updates we're getting immediately before it's too late. From Tuchel's era to Porter's era, there's no progress at all. What makes Chelsea worse over time? Whether it's changing coaches again or less, I don't know what the problem is. But I understand. Rotten, thank you. I also think Enzo's price tag is too high. I thought that before, but if we want to get him now, that's the price we'll pay for him. The available wingers are injury prone. We should try again a proven winger like Zaha. Zaha is not a bad shout, really. I'm not sure why the club ain't looking at him. It's not a bad shout again. But they do what they want to do. Massive clear out needed. It doesn't have to be drastic. It will never be drastic. It will be gradual. You could argue Ziyech is still at the club because we haven't gotten any replacement yet. It gets worse if you sell any player and you don't get any replacement. No matter how bad that player is, the numbers is important. Felix, our players are lazy. Just imagine Aubameyang, the way he was playing without any passion for the badge. You could argue that. Also, again, James' issue. Yeah, I know that quite well. And let me see. Chinedu Nwanne Joseph again says massive clear out. Yep, everybody, massive. Pulisic has never had any impact since he joined the Chelsea. Plus, his cousin Sterling.
What team am I watching?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what team were you watching? I think Pulisic has had an impact. He's been quite unlucky with the injuries. Yeah. Do I think he's taken all the opportunities he's gotten at Chelsea? No. He hasn't helped his case, really, if we're being honest. So, send him again. Yep, okay, let's see what happens. We need Enzo. It sounds simple, but it's not easy. Dacho and Benito are finally home. Congratulations to us. We've announced them. It's official. Andres Santos too. I hope they all get work permits. So let's look at, again, all the topics we had lined up there. A few of them just popped up, again, from my brother Ty and my other brother Liam Lane. This one says Gabriel Slonina, Benoit Badiashile, and David Dacho all involved in training yesterday. Dion Rankine also part of the training squad. Ty, who's Dion? Who's the Dion in question? Do you know him?
Dion Ranking is a player who plays as a right back, right wing back, depending on what you want to classify him as for the youth team. And he's one of those players, just like what's his name, Derek Edu, I think, or something like that is his name.
Abu.
Yeah, who was brought into the squad to make depth or to add to the squad size in terms of right back options. So I think Ranking is probably a player that we could see probably in contention for playing as a right back.
And they may well get a chance. You never know.
Yeah. So yeah, but he's a right back for the youth team. I think. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's his profile or if it's more a right wing back.
And AD, if you're listening, if you want to come in anytime, feel free. Because this time the structure is you can say it's random. So if I'm, except sometimes I may see something I feel like asking you a question, I would do that. But if not, you can come in anytime you feel like contributing. So again, I'm still not sure. Maybe Gabriel Slonina, I'm not sure if he stays. I don't know what the plan is for him. If he goes out on loan, but we'll see. We'll find out. This is again. This is quite interesting, Ty. This is quite interesting because I thought when we were moving for Badiashile that effectively puts to bed our pursuit of Vadio. But listen to this statement here. Vadio says again, I hope to spend these 6 months with Leipzig. Chelsea did not give up after last summer, but it was agreed that we'd go for the winter. He told, and again, the source there, winter has come, so we need to see how to proceed. But it's okay. There's still plenty of time. So I'm reading from here. I think Chelsea are still in contact with his camp. What do you think, Eddie?
Yeah, I say they're still in contact with the but there's another report that came out saying he would rather go to Liverpool. I don't know how correct that report is.
No, I think that was when he said again something to the effect of like he's followed Liverpool since he was a kid, and then that followed by and again a fresher report followed that one. He talked about how Kovacic being in the league and all that. Again, you never know. So again, but this also points that again, Chelsea has always been the club. I think his camp is willing to listen to, or has been, and Leipzig are also willing to listen to from what we're seeing. But because this clearly shows Chelsea are still in contact with his camp. But do we really need him? That's just a question I'm asking. To me, if we can get him, fine. We have depth. But Levi Colwill, he has actually showed that he can do well in the Premier League. But go ahead. I want to get your thoughts.
Me, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You see, the problem we have is that signing too many players in one position and then not spreading the other positions, not having balance. You know, if we just sign Badiashile and we're talking of Vadiol, we have Levi Colwill. So, I mean, what Leipzig they want for Vadiol is quite high, and that will be in the summer, you know? That will be in the summer. So going forward, we need to spread other positions. We need the midfield and all need to be addressed first, you know, so that we can have proper balance in the team. We need wingers, we need attackers, we need strikers. And just report I'm just hearing now, the Slonina, Badiashile, and Fofana.
We'll look at that. I have that pulled up. We'll talk about it so you don't give it away.
All right, okay. So I mean, Badiol is just. I don't think for now. Maybe leave it to the summer. If he's still there, they can talk about it. But they need other positions to balance up first. I mean, if he's going to come in, what are we going to do to Koulibaly? Is Koulibaly going to leave, or is going to be there?
I forget what people are saying, that he's actually good. He's actually been one of the best players in the team in the matches he's played. I know he's had issues. He's again had shaky moments, but how many games has he played in total that people are jumping to the conclusions that we should just sell him and all that? But again, I'm not listening to that. But go ahead.
You mean Koulibaly, yeah?
Yeah.
To be honest, coach, I have not been too convinced Koulibaly. I expected more from Koulibaly coming into Chelsea. He's not giving. Maybe he needs time. I don't know, but I thought when he was coming.
That's what I think. If he's not performing up to the level I think he needs time. How many games in total has he really played? Plus, you could argue the World Cup did break the momentum for him.
Exactly.
That makes any sort of sense.
Yeah, but I don't think he had any momentum going before the World Cup, coach. I wasn't convinced. Maybe, I mean, playing three at the back and then the center of the three, he's been better playing that side for me. That's the best I've seen him play. I've forgotten the match now. There's one match he was outstanding, playing in the middle.
It was against Wolves. He's pairing with Chalobah in a hybrid approach against Wolves. He was excellent in that match. Really.
Yeah, he was excellent in very, very few games I've seen. He's been excellent. I've been so convinced. But apart from that, I can't really understand what's going on with him. Does he need time? Well, maybe he needs time. I don't know, but I've not been too convinced with Koulibaly, to be honest. So if we can get an upgrade, then fine. If not, I mean, I'm not too convinced. I don't know if Tyke doesn't seem to agree with me, but
No, it's not that I don't agree with you. It's that you made a point that I've said before. His best position is in the center, but when you play a back three, that's where Silva plays. So
Exactly.
if you want to play Silva and Koulibaly has to be the one to suffer because Silva is known for being that leader in the back three in the center because he comes in, makes up the midfield as well, sits in the middle and everything. So Koulibaly has to suffer I don't know if people notice this, but sometimes when they are playing together, they collide into each other and they have to interchange because sometimes Koulibaly tries to come central, and then he has to go back to
Exactly.
whatever position he's in. So he's
Exactly.
best in the center, but in order for you to play both of them, one has to be out of position, and obviously no manager is gonna take Silva, who's effective in that center, more than Koulibaly perhaps out of that position just to play Koulibaly. So he has to suffer. The only opportunity where I think Koulibaly may get that chance to really express himself in that central role is if Silva gets a rest, which I think he needs because he's been playing game after game. And I'm concerned because he had a little injury scare. I think it was against Nottingham. Was it Nottingham? Or I don't remember what game it was. And it was limping. So we have to be.
Sorry, Eddie, I have to meet you because we're getting feedback from your end. Go ahead, Ty.
No, I was saying that because of that, we need to rest Silva. I think we all know that Silva is important, but this continuous notion of playing him each game, it's not healthy. It's a dangerous game to play because he can get injured at any moment. And like I said, he had that injury scare in one of the games that we had recently. So I think we need to manage his minutes a bit more. And I want to know what's going on with Chalobah because we haven't heard that he's injured, and we need to start rotating now because we're not really being cautious with the minutes and the fitness of these players. So I think we need to start rotating, which you may see against Man City tomorrow still. So maybe it's just a waiting game.
Yeah, again, thank you very much, Ty, for that. Let me catch up with what we have in the channel and I'll bring in Bobby in a bit. Please like and subscribe when you enter as it helps the channel reach a wider audience. We have 148 likes already. Let's get it to 150 and shoot for 160. That's, by the way, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Coach, again, a big credit to you. You're doing a good job. Chinedu Joseph, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Chinedu, let me know, are you Chama Joseph's brother? I want to know. But I appreciate that anyway. I wonder when I see people saying Alba is flop, how many chances did Alba get? Absolutely zero. I think I agree with you. Aubameyang, you can say what's happening at Chelsea to him isn't really down to him alone. But something else, you have to see some fight. But I haven't seen the fight in the last two games that he's gotten a chance to participate. That's, again, lack of the supplies is a different issue altogether. I want to ask, when is Slonina joining? He's been training with the team, and I will look at again something I had lined up that I didn't allow Eddie to talk about a minute ago. Dacho Fofana, we played Graham Potter to start him next game. It will be difficult, but let's see what happens. If he starts, I'd like it. Any news on Nkunku? He signed for us already. Joins in June, I think. I think we've sealed that one. King of Black. Turco said again, James is playing at RCB because his body cannot take bumping down the flanks for 90 minutes every game for 15 minutes games. Again, Turco also said Pulisic isn't a 90 minutes player for 50 games, 50 plus. Minutes. Again, I get that. A genius. I didn't know he said all those things. But okay. Guy, again, I'm now missing Werner, even though he missed many chances, but he created many for us. I think we were able to get the best out of him. Even again, in his worst time at the club, he was brilliant in terms of his goal contributions overall. So we must not forget that. Bobby, coming to you, I'm going to start you straight away with what we're seeing here on the screen. To me, what I'm reading from it, again, I'm learning from this, is that we're still in contact with his camp. And it does sound like Chelsea is the main club there. And what do you think? Because if he said this, if he mentioned Chelsea, we did not give up after last summer, but it was agreed that we go for the winter. We which means a mix of him. We are comprising of Chelsea and his camp. So it just seems as if, again, we're going for him. Do you think it would be necessary to still get him? I'm not really concerned about Levi Colwill, but if we can keep what we have and add Levi Colwill to that number come next season, fine. If we sign Vardio, fine. But I want to get your opinion. Should we still be going for Vardio at that price, given that we have other areas where we need to, again, fix?
Hi guys. Hi.
Sorry, good afternoon to you. I know it's already afternoon there.
You can't talk about Chelsea in rate limiting terms. This is a mistake a lot of fans do. They follow what the media is saying and they think that's all there is to it. Yes, Chelsea have to keep solvent in the bid for Vardio, whether we get him in the end or not. The more options we have, the more of a luxury position we're in the bidding war. But we have to make sure that the bidding war is live, so that if we don't get him, whoever gets him is going to have to pay for him. This is the politics of the situation.
So it won't be a lack of effort. Was that what you mean by that?
No, it's not effort. You're talking too much like a gentleman. This is brutal financial war. If we don't get him, whoever gets him pays, and pays through their backside because we're bidding. And so we keep solvent. You don't play gentlemen's games in these things. You go for it. Now, I'm not sure Leipzig can really be able to sell him for that amount. I don't think anybody really is happy to pay that amount. But if Chelsea are still in the bidding and somebody really wants to go for him, like a Real Madrid, then let them cough up the money and deal with the FFP book balancing issues. That's why we have to stay there, stay relevant, stay interested. It's as simple as that. And as for Benfica and Enzo Fernandez, oh, please, cry me a river. Cry me a effing river. Goodness me, we had all this with I can see Ty laughing.
He's
we
dying.
had all this with we had you're making me laugh now. We had all this with Diego Costa. We had all this with Thibaut Courtois. I mean, come on, what is wrong with you? Tough. That's high finance. That's football. Everybody gets it. Look what Brighton's going through. We've taken their players. Other people have taken their players. They're not crying about it, trying to smear the other clubs. You dig deep and go into your grassroots football. And the thing about, I'm saying about being relevant is that people, Chelsea going for a load of left backs because that's what the media is highlighting. It doesn't mean to say that's all we're going for. Nobody knew we were going to get Detro Fofana until we got Detro Fofana. Nobody knew we were going to go for Andre Santos until we got Andre Santos. Nobody knew we were going for Bardia Shao until we got Bardia Shao. At least we were almost close to getting these players. So don't worry about what the media is focusing on. In fact, I'm glad they're focusing on these guys to give us breathing space to do the real business. We could be sealing the deal with Casido, for all you know. We could be sealing the deal with Mudryk, for all you know. I mean, I'm not really believing that, but, people seem to think we're still very much into that. And let's keep that alive because that keeps his price up. And that means if Arsenal get him now, they are really going to have to pay top dollar. That's how it's done. All is fair in love and war and football business.
Yeah, it's business, first of all. Let me catch up with just 4 or 5 comments in the chat, Bobby. I want to ask you that question from another perspective, which the fans have always talked about. Again, how are you? So again, Mykhailo Mudryk update. Here's the thing. The only thing that I can say, just quickly for this, the rumors were that the director from Shakhtar Donetsk will be at the stadium to watch us play against Manchester City, and that happened. To me, if anything, that shows really we're talking with this camp. But what I heard that makes me happy is that the club, they want reassurance from Mykhailo Mudryk's camp that he would want to come to us if we eventually, again, win the bidding war. Let me just phrase it like that, if that makes any sort of sense. But thank you, Bobby. That was fiery, and I love it. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We have 150 likes. And again, we should be doing better than that. We had a poll up, and in that poll, that poll ranked, I think, 230 something votes. Let me see if I can find it, but it was 200 plus. And I'm not sure if I can find it right now. So yes, keep liking the stream if you haven't, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much. Mykhailo Mudryk is confirmed to Chelsea. No, it's not. It's not that simple. Arsenal has, again, from everything we're hearing, has the upper hand, but I'm not sure. Never say never. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to you too, Joseph. I hope you're doing well. Alex Becker's channel, highlights of the day, Cry Me a River. Bobby, you made a lot of people's day. So, Bobby, from another perspective now, again, when people talk about Vardy, that's when, again, some are even saying we shouldn't have signed Badiashile. We should have worked to bring back, sign Vardy and then bring back Levi Colwill. Now, Colwill has shown he's actually capable of holding his own in the Premier League. I know they lost their, Just quickly, let me come now. Your thoughts on those fans feeling like we shouldn't go for Vardy, we should just bring Colwill back since we've signed Badiashile. Your thoughts and what's your advice?
Badiashile is quite clearly a project signing. 7.5-year deal is for long, short, and medium term. He's an excellent signing. People like Thiago Silva is not going to be around for another 2, 3, 4 seasons. Even Koulibaly, who knows how much longer he can go for? He's not a young man. Give him this season. Let's hope he improves for next season. But the Premier League is tough going. This is a 21-year-old kid, physical, tall, just the perfect replacement to Zuma. So go for it. It doesn't get in the way of Levi Colwill coming back. Levi Colwill could come back and become a priority to Thiago. Who knows what we're going to do in the long term? So I think it's good we've got him. We need to get people into the squad that will kick off the project. I'm really hoping that, in fact, I have a sneaky feeling from some of the buzz I've been getting from the Cobham, the few contacts I have left in Cobham at the moment. I think some of these work permits are either nearly done or done already. And you may be surprised to start to see some of these guys sat on the bench against Man City on Sunday. I don't know for sure, but I'm getting that buzz. And may that happen. I don't think Detro Fofana is earmarked for a loan. If any of those new signings are going on loan, it's only because of the work permit situation, which could happen to Andres Santos. But I know the club is working very, very hard to get his clearance, which means they want him in the squad. And we need him in the squad. We need a complete rebuild. And I heard Ty's comments on the FFP, because I'm always listening to you as much as I can. I'm such a fan of yours, Coach. Not just a member of your panel, not just a privileged member of your panel. But
thank you, I appreciate that.
Ty, as always, makes a lot of sense. FFP is not the be-all and end-all for us. There are ways out of FFP. Sell a few players if you want someone so badly. Get them off the wage bill. Get them off get some money in and free up some cash for spending. It really is that simple. But I also hear your point, Coach, about some of our players were on such high wages. You mentioned this guy that's gone to Nice.
English International, Barkley.
Perhaps Ziyech, that's a problem, although I don't know how big a wage Ziyech is on, but it's big enough. So that's always the sticking point in selling these guys. And honestly, the way Ziyech played last Saturday, I think he won't be that high up the sale list anymore. I can think of one or two others that perhaps would be on that sale list now. But, that's it. It's just business, buying and selling. That can bring down the threat of FFP if you really, really want to pay that money for Enzo. I'm beginning to suspect that the Enzo situation is a little bit of a who blinks first. That's what I'm seeing. We're getting into that who blinks first territory. From the Benfica end, do we hang on to this guy that's clearly unhappy and hold on to our guns for 120 million euros buyout clause, which is a very strong position? And from the Chelsea end, do we hold on to our guns not to meet that clause in any way, shape, or form. Because as it turns out, the rumors that we were going to do installmental payments that will take us over and above the clause were not true. But there's no smoke without fire, quoting you again, Coach, which means that could be an option should we choose to blink first. I don't know what's going on. The same thing I would think, I've been backing off this Mudryk thing. I don't really believe it. I still don't believe it. It seems odd. But you're right. They did come to Stamford Bridge. He has said that he would be happy to play for Chelsea. So we're in a, who blinks first situation there as well. Because in all honesty, 88 million for a 21-year-old kid that plays in the Ukrainian league is a little bit eye-watering, if you ask me. So we've got to maybe try and poker this one out and see how it goes.
Yeah, again, and it's important to pay attention to something that Bobby also talked about the other day. Enzo will not solve all of our problems. We have, again, a big problem. He's, again, maybe part of the solution, but won't be the sole solution to all of our problems. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. And for highlighting those great points that Ty did make before. It's not simple to sell the players we don't want because of the money they are on. That's why, again, we have had problems with a few years of moving players on as the clubs won't pay them the money. Again, see, for instance, AC Milan wouldn't even pay, again, Hakim Ziyech. They said no. Even look at what's his name, Ajax wouldn't even pay. They said no too. And then the coach said something openly regarding that. So the salaries have become a big issue for us, a big stumbling block to, again, letting some of these players go. Drinkwater, again, stayed for a while and made quite a lot of money from Chelsea Football Club. Why would he be in a hurry to leave, especially his age? And that's especially true with players above 30 or close to 30. They just want to stay and earn the money and live on a free, earn even more money. And sometimes, I think we terminated the contract of Barkley. Other than that, no club wanted him. We had to, again, terminate with his contract. And again, he's going to leave licking his lips, saying, well, it's worth it anyway. But that's, by the way, we move on. Let's say things we have here. Official Gabriel Slonina will wear the number 36 shirt. Quickly, anybody on the panel can come in here. Does that mean he stays? Because he still get a shirt number and still end up living on loan. Bobby, what does that, again, does that tell you? Does that mean he stays? Okay, I'm not sure anybody that can come in, that can quickly unmute and come in, please do so. Does that mean he stays because he's been, he's offered a short number? Eddie, what do you think? Does that mean he stays?
Yeah, I think he might be staying because report we're hearing is that Mendy had an operation on one of his fingers. So we don't know how long he's going to be out for. So Mendy had an operation. So if that is the case, that's why maybe he might be staying. I think so.
And Roger, coming to you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for finding time to join the show. You can say, yeah, lateness is great now, but we still have a bit of time. You've been a goalkeeper. You was once a goalkeeper yourself. If Mendy, again, I don't think it would take Mendy that too long because a broken finger, they say. Can we keep 4 goalkeepers, really? Or do we have to let one go? Because it doesn't make sense, again, for them to take up one space that should have gone, again, we could use to accommodate one more attacking or midfield player or defensive player. Your thoughts?
I don't think we have that luxury right now. I really don't. And it all depends on the status of the other keepers. Are they injury prone, etc.? Kepa seems to be for the most part, quite fit all the time. He doesn't usually get injured that much. So Bellinetti, whatever his name is, I don't know much about him.
Bettinelli and Slonina, those are the two other, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, he's very young. So I don't know. I can't see keeping 4. But, in the Premier League, there is no injury list, like a waiver list for injuries, is there? So I don't think you can put someone aside because of injuries like you can in the NFL. So I'm not sure how the roster exemptions work here. Maybe there's exemptions for people like that. I have no idea. I apologize.
Yeah. If you're watching, please, again, we're at 152 likes. Drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Yes, Ziyech is a prime example. I think his salary is one of the main reasons why he hasn't left the club, before being honest. This here says David Fofana. This is just a message to him, to the Chelsea fans. Hello there, fans. I am here. I've arrived well, and I'm very happy to sign for the club of my dreams. I will see you soon on the pitch. Cheers. That sounds like he's staying. Again, if he stays, I like it. He's not a talent that you send out alone, given this, again, output this particular season. But again, the most amazing of the whole thing is him creating 22 chances, even though he's an number 9. Correct me if he's not number 9 or not. Plus, again, 52 tackles completed in 52 matches. He's that good. 10 goals to show in 15 matches. Is it 10 goals? Yeah, in 15 matches. And then 3 assists from him. That's not a talent you send out alone. Osuagu Chisom, we need Enzo and Mudryk. It's that simple. That's quite a lot of money, really. Yeah, so congratulations to us. We got this one sealed. And this report right here, Benoit Badiashile will wear the number 4 for Chelsea, while Fofana has been handed the number 27 shirt. 4, again, we've talked about the other one before. So number 4, the shirt, again, the number of Andres Christensen, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that was the number he wore. Yep, again, we've seen this one too. So if you're in the chat, if you have any question, go ahead. Again, shoot it. I would be happy to address it. We still have a few minutes to go. Roger, coming to you. You have, again, were you listening? Do you have anything else we talked about that you want to talk about?
No. I just thought I'd join the show. I wasn't sure how long you've got left, so I just thought I'd join to see what was interesting.
Anything? Any defense for your client? I don't know. He's been, again,
vilified.
Yeah.
I watched the game. Watched it yesterday. I thought we.
Okay, you watched it again.
No, I watched the game yesterday. I was out when it was played live, so I didn't have the ability to see it live. I'll be honest with you. It's I wasn't really impressed with City. I thought they got it wrong the first half, and they just weren't on it. They weren't clicking on all cylinders. Having said that, I thought we acquitted ourselves reasonably well for the most part when you consider how many players we've got out. I don't know the injury status of the 2 new injury lists, Pulisic and Sterling, but we're a depleted team now. I think we can honestly say we're depleted. That term is used often, and it shouldn't be, but I think we fall into that category. And if it wasn't for our depth and our great academy, we've been a world of hurt. So I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just I think he's the coach, Potter. I didn't think he had too bad of a game. I was really pleased with some of the youth, like Hall. He impressed the hell out of me, and so did Zakaria. They were, and obviously Silva. Each and every bloody week, he's amazing, seemingly.
Yeah.
I didn't think he got too much wrong. I don't know. I like the formation. I'm sure you did too. It's a 4-2-3-1.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
here's what I'm going to do. We'll talk about ground butter a bit, and it's something I wanted to bring up. And if I see any update, I'm looking at the update screen. That stuff I use when I do the automated stream. If I see anything new, I will bring it up. We'll talk about it. Here's what I want us to do here. I want to ask you. You paid attention to the game, and you know quite well, you understand about football quite well, that before a manager makes a change, he's making a change based on what his.
Hello, coach. You're going in and out.
Okay, I went out a bit. So 2 reasons why managers make a change. Yeah, but can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Ty, can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Wow, can you hear me, Roger? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, coach.
Yeah, I can hear you.
What is that? Okay, since you can hear me, yeah, I wasn't. Okay, so what I want to say is this again: managers make 2 changes for 2 reasons. One being again, one reason being again, either a player is underperforming, they take off that player, or an opposition manager again, or you're making a change based on what you're seeing from the team you're facing. Either you saw some again weak points that you want to exploit, you saw something you want to exploit, then you make changes. Then a smart manager, once your opposition makes change, first of all, and you sense that they made that change, for instance, to unsettle your left back or your left wing back player, or your left back or your right back, or to unsettle your midfield. The moment you sense that, you have to counter immediately. You don't wait 15, 20 minutes until it's too late. In that game in particular, once Pep Guardiola made the changes, they started playing better than us. And Ty was saying, we're going to concede soon. And I was furious. I said, do something now. Don't wait too long. And he waited before he made the changes that fixed the problem a little bit for us. We had already conceded. To me, that's a problem. You have to pay attention. Again, like, for instance, when you watch games, when you watch the biggest managers in the whole world, for instance, if you make a change, Mourinho counters immediately. The moment he senses the reason you're making that change, he counters. He doesn't let it be, because he'll find out, oh, this is the reason this manager went. And you even hear the commentator saying, this manager is making a change because of what the other manager did. But he didn't do that. He waited too long to do that. And by that time, we had already conceded. I don't know. That's something again. A manager of his, again, you could say he hasn't won anything, but he should at least know how to do that.
I'm so glad you mentioned this. I'm really glad you actually brought this up, because this was talked about quite extensively in Britain. By the way, there's a third reason why you make a substitute. That's because of injuries. So, not to be pedantic. But here's the deal.
Yeah, exactly. That's another one. Yeah, but it makes sense. Yeah, to add that to make me look bad. I get it. Go ahead.
No. So I'm just being pedantic, because
no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I have an air of arrogance that can be perceived here, and I mean this politely. But you are criticizing Potter for taking 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, however long you perceive, to react to Pep's halftime adjustments with his two substitutions.
Yeah, to counter Pep's changes.
Okay, so conversely, one could also so conversely, one could also say Pep got it wrong the first half. So it took him 45 minutes to make adjustments where he got it wrong. He played with a back three and not a back four. And virtually every analyst, whether it's on either side of the pond, has stipulated that. So why didn't he do it within the first 5 minutes? Well, Pep is I would say, a world-class coach. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So if you're going to critique Potter for not, because he expected Potter to play with a back three. So then why don't you criticize Pep, who's, by the way, didn't Pep get it wrong in the Champions League final also, where he didn't play with a holding midfielder? He's considered one of the top, I'd say, 4 coaches in the world.
You haven't actually left Potter's. You haven't left Potter's camp. You're still his lawyer.
No. I'm just saying, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
It's an excellent point.
I believe Queen to Rook 3, check. I'm just messing with you, coach. but it's valid. What I'm saying is, I love you, Joe, sir. But
it is indeed. But go ahead.
It's valid. Listen, he's human. If you cut me, I bleed. These people are under pressure, and I think no more so than Potter in so many regards. Could he do better strategically? I'm not disputing that, but you can also conversely say the same for virtually every other coach, including world-class coaches. I'm not putting Potter on the pedestal of a Pep, of a Ancelotti, etc., etc. I'm just saying that, you can't call him out and not call Pep out then. And it took him over a half. So, it's all about execution. We had our chances. They had our chances. It's just the way it rolls, how the cookie crumbles. I don't know how many cliches I can use here. It's like, did we deserve to? So this is what a few people in ESPN even said. It's like, had we not conceded a goal, would you have taken it away from Chelsea, saying that, did they deserve to have 1 point? Yeah, the general consensus is we deserve.
It just seems as if there's something you haven't learned from me, Roger.
No, I'm being honest
Roger,
here.
there's one thing you haven't learned from me. Even if we beat a team 4-0, I usually look beyond the win and to be sure
no, so
everything
do
is
I,
okay.
so do I.
And I know
So
you
do
do
I.
that too. But in this case, I'm talking. I'm talking about something we've seen from Graham Potter for a while now. He doesn't react quickly to situations. Bless you.
50?
He doesn't react quickly to situations. Sometimes before he does, it's too late. But go ahead. It looks like Bobby wanted to say something, but go ahead. I'll let you drop, then I'll bring him in.
I'll drop very fast, Bobby. I apologize. Late in your
No, don't drop safely, please.
Parachute. But in your estimation, sir, that there are other world-class coaches that yes, they actually are proactive as opposed to reactive. Having said that, some take 5-10 minutes, some take a nanosecond. Listen, his tactical acumen, could it be called into question every now and then? Yeah, but you can say that for virtually every other coach. That's what I'm trying to say, including, and I use this facetiously, the great Pep Guardiola, who has yet to win.
It could.
That's
what I call into question the more.
Hit me, Bobby. Go on, hit me.
Can I add something to this? It's
Mais
quite
oui,
interesting.
monsieur.
Sorry?
Mais oui, monsieur.
Thank you. I just want to say, listen, it's I have this as a bit of a double-edged sword, and why I say that is, look, it's quite easy to make quick tactical changes when you have Jack Grealish and Calvin Phillips to bring off the bench, as opposed to some 18-year-old Lewis Hall, who you're just beginning to familiarize yourself with, and people like Omari Hutchinson, who, as we've all recognized, looked like a 14-year-old schoolboy on that field. You know, it takes perhaps a little bit more thinking time for you to decide on how to use them. So as far as that is concerned, I would say that Mr. Guardiola had an enormous advantage to Mr. Potter. However, Potter's tactical responses, as it were, they always appear to be a little bit delayed, a little bit unsure. And I think that's what gives everybody concern. But what the biggest mitigating circumstance he has at the moment is that, everybody looked at the City bench and then looked at Chelsea's bench, and it was night and day. He has very much less experience to draw upon, so he has to think harder about how to use them. But we need to avoid whataboutism as we are criticizing our team and trying to look for better outcomes for our team, as it were, because what Pep did in the Champions League final was as a result of his luxury of talent he has to play with, and he thought it.
Indeed.
Whereas for us, we need a coach that has real conviction and nous, like Thomas Tuchel, who, when he decides something and he goes for it, 8 to 9 times out of 10 it works. I think there were fine margins against City. I was very encouraged by what I saw. Can we build on it? Well, time will tell. The best way to build on it is to beat City in the FA Cup, which I can assure you is not going to be easy, because Pep would have learned from what happened. You know how tricky he is. He doesn't pass up on opportunities to improve, and he will come out firing on all cylinders. That's why in that game at Man City, we've got to be strong, we've got to be determined, and we have to be tougher than them. I think that's where we'll beat them.
Can I ask a question? A lot of people...
We can't lose to them 4 games in a row. We can't.
Yeah, but
anything can happen. We lost 4 FA Cup finals in a row. People thought that would never happen.
No, I'm just saying we shouldn't. Let me just say we shouldn't. Really.
Yeah,
that's a better way to phrase
it.
We shouldn't lose 4 games in a row to them. Yeah.
Well, 2 things. First of all,
go ahead, Roger.
First of all, we seem to play quite poorly in the last few years, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, each and every time we play City, we actually play our best games of the season against them. We lose by very small margins, which is a consolation. However, we show up for the most part against City. So perhaps it's a matter of matchups in this regard.
Why do you think that is?
I think we've had present company exclusive. I think we've had great coaches previously. I think that's an attribute. I think. Listen, I believe, and I consider.
I'll give you my theory if you want to know when you get a chance. Just ask me. I'll give you my theory as to why that is.
Yeah, hit me. Go on. What is your theory, sir?
My theory is that, again, it is City, it is Liverpool, it is any team that doesn't defend deep. Again, by default, we play well against them.
Yeah, we don't.
That's my theory. But go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, we're open with them, aren't we? For the most part, yeah, I agree. With one exception, when we played Liverpool with 10 men, we had to sit deep. Yeah, I totally agree. That's right. If you have a look, who was it recently that beat City? Was it Newcastle? They came out and they went toe-to-toe with them, 3-3, I think it was, or 4-4. You're right. Teams that actually go toe-to... 99.9% of teams don't have the roster, don't have the depth, and don't have the technical players to go toe-to-toe with a team like City, and they invariably don't, for obvious sake, because it's suicide. You know, it's like me being in the ring with Mike Tyson. It's never going to happen. Serious. But I thought, for the most part, Chelsea do play well against City, and I think that's a matter of matchup. And you're right. You're so right. We don't use the low block. We don't just sit back. We don't park the proverbial bus. I get it.
And they don't sit back.
Right. Yeah, no, indeed. No, of course they don't. No. I forgot the question I was going to actually ask you, but it's okay. I thought Amari Hutchison, I thought I'm not sure he froze in the headlights. I thought he played it very conservatively, considering this was his debut. And I have no problem with that whatsoever. I think he's going to flourish.
Definitely.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I really can't think of my question, actually. I've gone brain dead, as usual.
Yeah, sorry. All I'll say is that in as much as we've been having good results against them, I sound one heed of warning for Sunday, and that is that if we are, and I go back to my usual stance, we are not combative and physical.
That's what I wanted to mention.
Yeah, they will learn from these close games, and we will get our ass well and truly kicked. So we've got to battle with them and do what you said, go toe to toe. No shirking, no shrinking, no getting shoved off the ball. Get the basics right, and we will beat them.
I think what I wanted to say is, do you agree with everyone?
And you can say we were able to beat them 3 games in a row under Thomas Tuchel because we were combative then. Under Thomas Tuchel, when we beat them 3 games in a row, go watch all those games. We were the more physical side than they were. But how that changed, I don't really know. Look, again, we have to be combative. That makes a whole lot of difference. Newcastle were able to go toe-to-toe with Arsenal. You could say the most difficult game Arsenal have played this season was against Newcastle United. And it wasn't like Newcastle had the best players, but they had the spirit, the fight. You see it there. You want to, again, they played 32.
The belief.
But go ahead, Roger, go with what you were saying. We have some update to look at here.
I just want to say a lot of the critics on this side of the pond have said,
what did you say?
Actually, a lot on both sides of the pond have said, and they've characterized Chelsea as lately being soft, weak, where they would say, you go back X amount of years, whether it's a couple of years to 10 to 20 years, you knew that Chelsea were going to show up and quote unquote stick the boot in and not take any intimidation from anyone. And we look like more of a, shall we say, a sophisticated team where we don't rely so much on brawn anymore, that we're soft. Do you see Chelsea as being soft for the most part, chaps? I don't see that killer instinct anymore. I agree with certain parts of it. And we certainly don't have a John Terry anymore. But I think there is some truth to that criticism, actually, and a lot of that has to go to the manager. By the way, I concede that.
I don't want to use the language. Go ahead. I'll let you drop.
I just want to say, certainly, Chelsea's success has always been mitigated on a combative, physically capable, and also technically gifted team. It
Indeed.
goes. I mean, you go take it back to the 1970 World Cup, FA Cup final against Leeds. Leeds were one of the dirtiest teams in the country, and Chelsea beat them. Why? Because we went to war.
Ron Harris.
That was one of the most brutal finals ever played in English football. Both the return leg, both the first term game and the replay. It was a battle, and we outfought them. We outfought the most combative team then in the then old First Division. Whenever Chelsea's successful, we're able to fight. And whenever we fall flat on our face is when we're soft, lily-livered, always getting injured, not coming off best in 50-50s like we are now.
Yeah, I have to concur.
Yeah, I think I do agree with you. I've forgotten what was it. I wanted to say something. I don't remember what it was exactly, but let me catch up with the chat. Some updates we have lined up. I'll look at that. That Liam Lane sent to me. They have to sack Potter. Okay, that's the solution. I don't think Roger would like that. His lawyer who's here. Chelsea didn't. We have a Potter here in London. Nice to see you, Josie Agbo. I hope you're doing well. What else do I have to look at here? This again, my screen isn't helping Marcus. Bring back Thomas Tuchel. That is going to be one of the last things that will happen in this generation. Have to agree with Roger on that point on Pep. But to me, again, I'm with Bobby on this one. I think it's whataboutism, really. The point is, again, I was asking, the question I asked was how he responded on the day. Yes, again, Bobby being as nice as he always likes to be, gives the Laporta's lawyer an excuse that he doesn't have the luxury that Pep had on the day, so it takes a lot of thinking to decide what to do, really. To me, it's about just, again, inject more energy in those areas, because it's about energy. Like Bobby likes what France did against Argentina in the World Cup that made a difference. Inject more energy. And in terms of the physicality we're talking about, we need balance, but it looks like we don't want to have physicality in the team right now. It's only Loftus-Cheek. He's not in the team. Kante, he's not in the team. Who else now? The only physicality there right now.
We're missing J5, weren't we? So that's a major factor. Bada bing, bada boom.
I'm not going to go into that. Again, Koulibaly, again, can be physical, even sometimes too physical. So we need balance. I think we get muscled off the ball too much, and it's all departments on the pitch. It's a Chalobah. Chalobah can be physical, but he wasn't on the pitch. Aspilicueta, not really that physical, but you don't muscle him off the ball easily. But that's another thing, another discussion for another day. Let me see what else we have here. Like I said, that's something you'll see in your lifetime. Even if it happens, maybe I don't think it would take something extraordinary for that to happen. Thuram to Chelsea guy again. How can you rate this transfer? To me, no. To me, again, there's a chance maybe he's reached that stage where he becomes one of the best in the world. To me, what we're seeing in the current season, I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong. He hasn't performed again consistently at that level. But maybe Vivell knows him. Christopher Vivell knows him quite well and believes he's reached again his peak and will continue to maintain that level of performance that we're seeing this season. I don't know if it's a one-off thing. Somebody argued, how about Mudryk that I've been calling for the club to sign? Mudryk was 20. Mudryk, how about his performance? Is it not just like one season as the same as Thuram? In the case of Mudryk, he was 20 last year, was 19 last year, and he played fewer games. Are you paying attention, Ty?
Cool. What
I made the argument about Thuram. Listen, I said, has he performed consistently at that level? But his numbers this season are near exceptional. Am I lying?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, last season he only got 3 goals, so he's done better.
Exactly. So that's my point. Yeah. So the point I'm making that maybe Christopher Vivell, they've seen something that shows them maybe he's arrived. Maybe he will continue to maintain that level of performance. And somebody was saying that what about him again? Was saying. Yeah, somebody was saying, how about Mudryk? And I was telling the person Mudryk was just 20 last year and 19 the 2 years, and he played just few games. There was one he played just 3 games 2 years ago. The last year he played just 10 games. Or this year, look at his numbers. So again, if the club wants him, who am I to blow against the wind, really? That's fact and profound about what coach is saying. Potter don't react as soon as possible during our Champions League matches. Even again, that's all the games we've played. I haven't seen him react as quickly as I'd like him to. Maybe that's me. And it doesn't help. Okay, at least if you're not vocal, react to situations quick. That would make a whole lot of difference. And I wouldn't care whether you're taking a nap when the team is playing or not. Chelsea holding talks with Gladbach for Thuram. Yeah, I'm hearing that. We'll get to that in a bit. During Thomas' regime, Chelsea didn't lose 4 matches in a row, but we broke some record. I think the worst home record for how many years, I don't remember. 5 strikes to Chelsea without midfielders, 5 strikers to Chelsea without midfielders. Thuram, Fofana, Alba, Havertz, and Broya. Is this not a joke, guys? Like Bobby said, that's a change the club are looking at other players. And usually I've seen a pattern with the Bolly and co. I think they like to create some measure of distraction. And when you're paying attention to that, boom, you hear that we signed one player or the other. Again, Eddie, remember, if anytime you want to come in, if I haven't asked you any question, please, you can always come in. Sorry, I haven't asked you a question for a while. So again, I have a lot going on that I have to be looking at from one window to the other. Hello, everyone here. Again, I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you're doing good too. Nice to see you. If you haven't, please go check out Blue Clouds Media YouTube channel. Good content, always bringing in some excellent panelists there. Again, please go check it out. Make sure to subscribe. It's time for the Chelsea players also to come together and fight till 90 minutes. I don't think you will get that out of this team anymore. Some changes need to take place for us to be able to do that ever. If we're being honest, Ty talking to somebody there, make sure to go check Ty Talks YouTube channel. Please, please, please do that. Roger, I know your Ty Talks channel pastor. Do you have anything to say about Ty's channel?
Yeah, it's very insightful, very informative. I love watching this stuff. Seriously, thank you, Ty, for your product. It's excellent. I'm serious.
Yep, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see what else we have here. Thuram can play as a winger, so we need depth. So maybe, yeah, it's again, he doesn't necessarily, he's not necessarily coming to join us as an attacker. And I don't know him well. I only started paying attention to him at the moment. I only saw him at the World Cup. I started paying attention, but I know his father, and I started looking at his numbers, saying, okay, he's actually doing well this season. Other than that, nothing more really. Sorry?
Are you related to
No, I'm not related. I knew him as a player, Lilian Thuram.
You say you knew him so much.
No, we're not. Why are you saying that, Ty?
You said you know his
as
father.
a footballer. Oh my goodness. Are you guys here to fight me today?
No, you said you know his father, so I'm saying
Ty, just go.
Yeah, Lilian
Thuram and Nkunku. Yeah, that's the name of his father. Yeah, Lilian Thuram, right back, I think. Yeah. Thuram and Nkunku, 2 highest scorers in the Bundesliga. We're getting them both. Wow. That's some clearance, really. But that's by the way, we'll move on from that one. Here's the link to TyTalks YouTube channel. Please go check it out and let him know we sent you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Again, I hope you enjoy it. And believe me, you will enjoy it.
7 away from
just 1 second. Again, let's see. Yep. How many from 700?
7. I gained 1 from here. I think it was what was it? I don't know the first name, but Joseph. That's the last name that I saw for the notification.
Oh. Okay, as you've heard, again, Ty wants to Ty needs just 7 more subscribers to get to his first 700, but Ty should have at least 2,000 subscribers. But we can do with 700 at the moment. Yeah. If you haven't, please go check out TyTalks YouTube channel and subscribe and let him know I sent you. So an update, Chelsea remain interested in Josko Vadio, but there are already contacts in Spain. I'm suspecting Real Madrid. That's the club I heard that are interested in getting him. But let's see what happens. That's a player I want to join Chelsea. Conversations are ongoing. Thuram would take some time to decide whether to move to Chelsea now or wait until the summer to pick his club. I don't like what I'm hearing there. Usually it doesn't end well and when he's still taking his time to pick. Again, Andre Santos and signing for Chelsea, it's a very big opportunity for me. This is a big club playing in big competitions like the Premier League. So I am very excited. The players here are so good, and I am very happy. Hopefully he gets his work permit I hope that happens. And this one says again, breaking. Chelsea having some contacts to discuss the condition to sign Marcus Thuram. Chelsea really like him, and are speaking to Thuram's side and Gladbach. They want him for January, and I think Gladbach would rather sell him now because in the summer he leaves on a free, right, Ty?
I believe
I think that's the case.
Situation.
Yeah, that's the case. Yeah, we're trying to get him now. So again, because in the summer, a lot more clubs will be interested in securing his signature. I think that's all we have lined up for today. If anybody on the panel, Roger, if you want to add anything to what we've talked about, please feel free and go ahead.
Yeah, I apologize because I came to the game late today, but I just wanted to Gianluca Vialli. It's a very sad note in our history.
Go ahead. You can talk about him. Go ahead.
Yeah,
that's good. We can end on that note. Where's this photo?
He's such a young person, relatively.
But go ahead. Let me find this picture. Go ahead.
And everyone that ever speaks about
go ahead, Roger. I'm trying to find this picture.
Yeah, everyone that speaks about him doesn't really speak about him as a player or as a manager, but first and foremost as an individual.
Mm-hmm.
That speaks highly. You know, all of his colleagues previously, they cannot stop waxing lyrical about how much of a nice individual he was, or how much of a gentleman, how cultured he was, just a consummate professional, first and foremost, and then as a player or as a manager.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the world has lost a good person more so than any other attribute. So I think that's really important. It's a good reflection, in my opinion.
Yeah, so, it is indeed. Like I said again yesterday, that you don't even need to meet him to understand from the way he interacts with others. That's enough to show you that this guy is, again, a nice person. Everybody loved him. And I'm glad, again, he played for Chelsea Football Club and coach at one time. He was player, manager. I'm sure, Ty, you have anything else to say, or should I go to Bobby so we can call it a day?
I don't want to cry again, so I'd rather not speak.
Yeah. Bobby, anything else you want to say so we can round off with that? Bobby, are you there? If not, I'll get what we have in the chat and we can call it a day. Just 1 second.
Do you think the FA Cup draw tomorrow, do you think it's, I don't view this as a must-win game for us. Do you?
I don't want us to go far into it. I want us to concentrate in the league because it's important that we make it into the top 4 this season. It will be, and again, an unnecessary distraction, really. We need to focus our resources to making it into top 4. If anything else, they give the youngsters a chance. Yeah, but mix it up. But again, we understand the plan is not to take it that seriously. Yeah, the Premier League should be, again, top 4 should be our priority, really.
Well, I don't know about top 4, but top 7. Sorry?
Right. I think, Roger, you have anything else to say? Should we just call it a day? Again, it has come to a natural end given the way things are going. Ty was there, but probably didn't hear what I was saying.
No, I'm here. I heard you, but there's a delay in you hearing my response.
Oh, okay. But I didn't hear any response, though. I was asking you, given Roger's question, do you think we should push for the cup game or to win at least a trophy like the cups? Or do you think we should focus? Roger, let me not misquote you. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm adding this one. Do you think we should focus on making it to top 4?
Yes, but at the same time, I would love to see us win a trophy. And this is the easiest. Well, I don't want to say easiest because it won't be easy, but it's one of the easiest ways in order to get a trophy. But I think it would be better to focus on the league because we don't really have the depth in quality to have a balance where we can focus on the league and also the domestic cup. So I think we probably have to focus more on finishing the league season on a good note, or at least in a comfortable way rather than focus on the cup, and then we're doing poorly in the league. So I think we should probably focus. It's not a must-win game, but I would rather us not lose 4 games in a row to City, especially after the record that we had with Tuchel, where we had won on, I think it was 3 occasions. So that would be nice.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need to concentrate on the league itself. I'm not sure about making top 4. I'm not sure whether that's mathematically possible. I mean, it is possible mathematically, but is it achievable? Based
It is
on
still
form?
very possible mathematically.
No,
yeah.
but I'm talking about, is it achievable though? Based on, well, we're lucky that Tottenham is playing. God, they're looking really poor, even though they won 4-0, whatever the score was. They look inept. Their results do not match or reflect their performances, so they're very much under the guise in that regard. Newcastle, they've been pretty much healthy for the most part. They're a couple of injuries away from falling down a few places, perhaps. Man United scare me. They're looking like a team with serious, how shall I put this, form. They seem to have gelled, and they're understanding the coaches. Yeah, and they're understanding the coach's philosophy and what he requires of them. City are obviously going to be there. Liverpool look horrible.
Just quickly, here's embarrassing how embarrassing this is. We have to click the down arrow before we're able to see Chelsea actually. Look.
Yeah, and when you click the down arrow, you're gonna have to wait for it to load up, and then you have to scroll down
a bit. Nearly was.
Oh Lord!
Oh my goodness, that's embarrassing.
So you have to do 3 clicking.
But I'm bringing this up. I just want to see the difference. Yeah, this is again. I just want to see the difference in points between Man U. Man U, they have the 4th place. They have 35 points, and they play 17 games. Oh my goodness!
10 points ahead of us.
Ooh, it's gotten worse. Wait a second. We have 25 points, right?
Yes.
Yeah, is it? Correct me if I'm seeing something different here.
We're 25.
And Man United, who's in the 4th place, have 35 points. So that's 10 points clear. But there's a chance that again, 5th and 6th place make. I don't know the new rule. I don't know. I don't remember what it says. I think Max tried to explain it the other day, but it was a bit complex because I don't have the basic knowledge of it to grasp what he was saying that day. But again, even at that, even if the 5th and 6th position will make it, it's still, again, let's see who's in the 5th position. They have 33 and we have 25. That's still more like how many points?
8.
The coefficient thing again. But even at that, let's assume the 5th place will make it into Champions League, 33 points. But that's a different thing altogether. So I don't understand the coefficient thing. I have to do my research. This is more like 8 points clear. And the 6th position people have 28. That's 3 points. That now mathematically still possible, but it's really tight up here. And the problem is Man City will never get out of top 4. Newcastle, they don't look like they're getting out of there. They're very tight defensively. They do score a lot of goals, though it has dried up a bit. Man United, they picked up form, and as you can see that, they lost their last game. Was this again? Is this the most recent game? Did they lose their most recent game? Really?
No, that was a while
Premier
back.
League game.
They didn't lose any games. They've been winning consistently.
Yeah.
So this isn't showing again. It says last 5. So
the
last
5
is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What game did they lose? Let me check here.
It's the left one, the first one. So.
Okay, from left to right. So I'm counting it wrong. Yeah, so very correct, Ty. Draw for Arsenal. What was the last game as in a play? Newcastle, right?
Yeah, Newcastle kept them out.
So it makes sense. Yeah, I was counting it wrong. So they've picked up form. Yeah, exactly. But that notwithstanding, to me, the worst that will happen to Arsenal this season is that they won't win the league. But I think they will keep the top 4 place. So it's crazy, really. Fulham are doing well. Brighton are also, again, they're fluctuating, but they're doing well. But it's very tight out there, up there. Roger, you want to say anything else?
Well, yeah, and then also Liverpool, isn't Van Dijk out for like a month or so? So they're going to be going.
Yeah, but they have capable replacements. To me, I don't think that will affect them for a long time.
You think so?
I mean, he's a big player for them.
You think so?
Van Dijk is a big player for them. He's their
Yeah,
best
they've got.
defensive
I think they'll be okay without him, really.
They've got what's that Cameroon guy? Canute. What's the name of the other one?
Kante is good.
What's the
Is
name
it,
of the other
Matip?
He's been shaky.
Matip.
Konate has been
Then
shaky.
Yeah,
they've
Matip, what country is he
another one.
from?
They've got about 3 or 4 centre backs still outside of Van Dijk. And
Yeah, they have
like
extra.
us, are going through a period of time
Right,
where
yeah.
some
Their
of the
midfield,
squad
Van Dijk.
players, some of the squad players could probably do with the absence of regular players like Van Dijk, who really haven't been on such top form. So they won't feel it like we will.
Well, it's yet to be seen. I mean, he's a major player, but I understand your point, though. I still think Liverpool, and I've watched Liverpool quite a bit lately, they look horrible. Same with Tottenham. I mean,
You can say actually, even though a lot of them will not admit it, yeah, Tottenham were horrible, especially for Liverpool.
they were
I think
putrid.
a lot of people wouldn't do. I think Van Dijk's injury may well be again a blessing in disguise for them, really.
Perhaps, yeah, that's very,
If we're
very
being
true.
honest, because he's been horrible defensively.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Again, if
I
you
think they'll do better without him.
Yeah, they will. Seriously, it's been again. His injury may well be a blessing in disguise for them because I think
Newcastle holds the key.
Klopp picks. Klopp picks him out of respect. Plus, again, his pedigree and all that. But if you pay attention, he's one of the biggest problems they have in that defense. Really, I'm not sure how else to put it, but that's, by the way, I think this is going to be really difficult for us. Really.
It is. It's going to be very tight.
Wow, Newcastle, they're doing well. So, Bobby, anything else? Any final thoughts? So, again, for everything we've talked about today, so we can call it a day. Roger, you wanted to say something else?
Yeah, I just want to quickly drop. Sorry, Bobby. I just think Newcastle have definitely, the injury-wise, they've had the odd one here and there, but they haven't been decimated. The question is, can they continue throughout the season and not lose any major players? You know, if they falter in that regard, you know, and they do start to lose players to injury for any significant amount of time.
Yeah, can I say something quickly to that? Yeah, but let me let you drop. Apologies for cutting in. Go ahead.
Yeah, then we may have a window of opportunity. Other than that, I don't see us making top 4.
Here's the thing: the only people I see that again, Tottenham seems like they struggled quite a lot. They look like the ones that will most likely not stay there if anybody's dropping out.
True.
Again, they're not going to make it into that place actually. So they will drop points and will come closer up there. I think Liverpool will get back in. Will come close up there, but I don't know again the possibility of us getting into top 4. But that's, by the way, it's really tight. As for Newcastle, remember they've played for a while without Alexander Isak and Alan Maxim, and look how well they did in their absence. So that shows you, even though they haven't signed too many players, they're still a very strong squad. More importantly, they play as a unit. That makes a whole lot of difference. I think they will be there come the end of the season.
Yeah, I agree. But they haven't been decimated.
Yeah. Again, Bobby, anything else you want to say so we can call it a day? Sorry?
It's the same with United. Who?
Sorry, what did you say?
Who have United lost this year?
Who they've lost to?
No, I mean players. Which significant players have United lost?
No, I don't think they've had so many injury issues, really.
No.
Let me look at it. Look at them here.
I
don't think they have had so many injuries.
Yeah.
They've had on and off injuries for Varane, but other than that, he has.
Yeah, they've been fortuitous. So when you consider the players that
every time somebody goes out, there's always a good alternative.
What's going on with Malacia?
Why? In what context?
Really.
Go ahead. I heard he was injured. Is he back? I don't think
Malacia. He played the last game for them. He played last night.
He's back then.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's back then. Okay.
Who are you guys talking about?
Malacia.
Oh, okay. I want to look at the games. I want to see who they have injured, if they have any injury issues here. I'm not seeing anything here, probably because I'm not sure when they're playing next.
We're missing about what? Well, they say 10 players, but 9 outfielders, and 7 out of those 9 are starters predominantly. So we've been depleted. You know,
we really we've been depleted really, but not that's no again excuse as to how
no, it's
badly
part of the game.
we've played really.
Wow, they're playing City next in the league, but they play Charlington in the week in the EFL Cup quarterfinals.
Who's they?
Man United.
And they're playing home.
Man United.
Man U. And they're playing home.
That's gonna be a great game. Good derby game.
Yeah, they've won. Man United, they've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row. So again, they picked up form. I think we're correct.
Definitely.
But that's, by the way, I think we should call it a day. The show has come to a natural end. I don't know if anybody has anything else to add before we call it a day, really. We streamed, again, it's approaching 4 hours. I know it's been interesting and enjoyable, but if we have to go. I have to go prepare something for my voice. Go ahead, Roger, if you have anything else to say.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you so much.
Always.
Yeah, more thanks to you, Roger, for finding the time to join us. Ty, I can't thank you enough. Bobby, the same. You were fiery today. Again, that first point you made, I enjoyed listening to you talk about it. Ty, I cannot thank you enough, brother. Liam Lane, the captain of the house, Joel, everyone else that was in the chat. Thank you so much, guys. I hope to see you guys tomorrow for another Blue Morning show. Thank you. God bless us all, and cheers.